Hello, welcome to build up to a good game of Chelsea against West Ham United. Kick off an hour and 5 minutes away, which means the official lineups are 5 minutes away. However, what I will tell you, David Moyes has made some big changes. You can tell by the starting 11, his focus is on Thursday night. There's a change in formation for West Ham United as well. Well, we'll wait for the official confirmation in a few minutes' time, but changes galore for the Hammers. Gonzo, how are you doing?
That's all right. I just had to turn off the live chat. Just because in case I like a surprise. I like you telling me rather than I get distracted. I start looking. Anyway, I was fine until about 20 seconds ago. To be perfectly honest with you, you've ruined my mood. Well, I'm nervous. I was fine. I was all confident, looking forward to beating Chelsea, and wow, okay. I mean, this would be unprecedented. This would be the first time he's done such a thing. Since we played Everton away in the cup quite some time ago. If you remember, he took absolute second string, brought some of the first team players, put them on the bench and never used them. Apart from that, he takes every game seriously. The mantra is the next game is the most important. It sounds like a cliche when managers say it. When Moisey says it, I believe it. Clearly, the next game after this one is the most important from what you're saying. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think if I was to ask you to name your first three players on the team sheet for West Ham, I don't think any of them are starting.
No Declan Rice, no Antonio, and no Bowen is what you're telling me.
Perhaps not. We'll wait and see. We'll get confirmation in 3 minutes, but no, I believe not. I believe not.
Oh my word! And no Arthur Masuaku.
I'm not promising that. I'm not promising no Masuaku. Sorry. Is it in a way? If assuming this is correct, though, which it usually is, is in a way, is it almost a good thing that David Moyes has prioritised the Europa League? Because he's always said, "My priority is Premier League. My priority is Premier League. My priority is Premier League." Is it now that we're in the semi-finals? He's actually saying it's not anymore. My priority is winning the Europa League.
Geo, I just don't know. I think Chelsea are not there for the taking, but I think Chelsea can be got at today. That being said, I'll be consistent with everything I said. I don't have the data. David Moyes has the data in front of him. He knows who's tired. He knows who's trained well. Maybe there's something in that where he thinks they just can't do it this time. Maybe he's looked at Man United. Maybe he's looked at Tottenham dropping points, and he's thinking, well, actually, I don't know. See, Arsenal's next, isn't it? So it is a bit of a tough one. It has to be said. I don't know. I mean, it'd be hell of a bold move. This reminds me of Pardew, of course, if that's the case. Pardew said, you know what, we're mid-table in the league. I'm going to go for the FA Cup. And it almost worked. I mean, anybody that was there, we were all celebrating, weren't we? We're all singing West Ham won the cup. So if he does that, and he wins the Europa League, it would be amazing management. So I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I think it's him saying the Europa League's priority. And at the end of the day, right, there's 5 games to go in the Premier League prior to kick-off day. We've got 5 games in Premier League to get a Europa League spot. In the European competition, we're 3 games away from a Champions League spot.
Yeah.
Why would you not go for the Europa League? Obviously, the risk is we lose tonight. We don't put Frankfurt out, then all of a sudden we're scratching to get 7 to get the Conference League. It is a bit of a gamble. There's something's got to give. We've been playing the players relentlessly week in, week out, Europa League, Premier League. The Issa Diop hasn't come through fatigue, right? He's got injured as an impact injury. It's just bad luck from the centre-back department. It's bad luck. If Antonio got injured with the hamstring, that's not bad luck. Just
agreed. Yeah,
that's our own fault. We've taken that gamble as backfire. There was no gamble with the centre-back. We had 4 senior centre-backs, 4 really good senior centre-backs as well. 3 are injured. It's just bad luck. It's unlucky. Yeah. I think it scared Moyes a little bit. I think David Moyes just thought, crikey, we can't afford any more first-team players missing. We can't afford that player pick up an injury by Frankfurt. And I know people say, but players can get injured in any game or any training session, of course, but your job as a manager is to reduce the risk as much as possible, and not playing them in the game reduces the risk massively. Injuries during a game is far more frequent than injuries during training for a reason, and that is because of the speed you go at, the percentage you go at. But anyway, let's take a look at David Moyes' starting 11 this afternoon. There's 6 changes from the Hammers. In goal today, we've got Lucas Fabianski, as always, with a back 5 of Vladimir Sufal, Ben Johnson, Craig Dawson, Aaron Creswell, and Arthur Masuaku. A midfield 4, I think, of Mark Noble, Thomas Souček, Pablo Fornals, and Said Benrahma, with Andrei Yarmolenko as a striker today, Gonzo. We're playing a back 3. We are playing a back 3, and that's your team.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a bit weird. I mean, Masuaku in there's not a great one. I've got to be perfectly honest with you. I know it's at wing back. That being said, he scored against Chelsea earlier on in the season, didn't he? Maybe there's something that'll be quaking in their boots at the thought of facing Arthur Masuaku. Tuchel's never faced anyone quite like him, I'm sure. I'm surprised, I've got to say, bearing in mind he's done all those changes, I was expecting you to read a youngster or 2 out. I mean, you know what I mean? You didn't know any of this. You've just heard the team. As you were giving me the information, I thought, okay, he saved some players.
So you were thinking maybe like Johnson, Dawson, and Elise there.
I was with
Perkins
Cresswell
up
at left
front.
wing back. With Cresswell, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. In fact, the only one I would quibble with, funny enough, well, that's not true. Maybe there's 2 I'd quibble with. But even if we leave Masuaku alone for a second, it's Yarmolenko, I'm sorry to say. Because I will tell you now, that is a really, really slow team. And I don't mind him changing it. I don't mind him prioritising Frankfurt. I don't mind him sitting back, but allow yourself a counter-attacking strategy. And I can't see one there. I can't see a counter-attack on there, unfortunately. It is dog slow. You almost pick our 11 slowest players. There they are. Anyone that's got a bit of pace, be it Antonio is obviously, Fredericks is really quick. Antonio's quite quick. Bowen's got a bit of pace about him. Then you start getting to the youngsters. Well, Forson is really busy. Perkins is quick. I mean, and I can't see a quick player in there. That's what would bother me about that. That being said, I still think we can get something for the game. I take it these players are on the bench.
Yeah, we'll get to the bench in a minute. I would have liked to see a couple of youngsters in there if we're going to rotate. And I hate to say this, we're almost going to not throw the game. We're going to, by purpose, we are reducing the chances of us getting something from this game by leaving out Antonio, Bowen, and Declan Rice. Essentially, that's the 3 players we've said, take them out of the team, and who we've got left, and let's work around that. Take them 3 players out, the 3 players we have to have. And I imagine he would have wanted to take Dawson out of that team as well. David Moyes could have. I think he would have taken Craig Dawson out of that team. So I need him as well. My one senior centre back's coming out of that team. So I think he's taken his most important ones out and said, what have I got left? I'm surprised Souček's probably playing. Could he have played Kral in there? I think if you're going to rest, I think you might as well go with the full hog and rest them all kind of thing. And I would have taken Souček out as well. I get why he's put it in. I think he's probably looked at the team with Kral in there and thought, that's a bit too weak. That at least put Souček in. At least I've got someone that can do something in the pitch. I get it from David Moyes. If we get beat, it's one of them. I think what it has done is come at a cost of losing the game, but what it has done is given us the best opportunity against Frankfurt. And this is the semi-final stage of the Europa League. I'd be sitting here probably a bit upset, actually. We'd gone out there today and bear in mind, if we started Rice, Bowen, and Antonio, I would have fancied us to get something. We would have had to play extremely well to get the win anyways with those in the team. So I think he's probably looked at this, Moyes, and like you said, the results elsewhere, the Man United result, never mind results elsewhere, the Man United result, he's looked at and thought, you know what, I can afford to lose this game and still be just behind Man U and rest my players kind of thing. So I get why Moyes has done it. If he'd put out the Rice and Antonio pulled up today and was unfit for Thursday, I think when we did the preview, he'd be like, well, that's what you get for playing Antonio all the time, isn't it, Moyes? So I can't have it both ways. I want to see players rested in the past around the Europa League ones, so I'm okay with this one. It looks a bit weak. It looks a bit...
Well, no Lanzini as well. So
he's also on the bench. That's a good point, actually.
It's clearly... And I've thought as much recently. He's sort of pivotal to the way we're playing. He makes us tick. He sets... Obviously, everyone's got their vital jobs. Rice has got his vital job. Bowen, Antonio, we know what these guys' jobs are. But I think he sets Lanzini I'm talking about here, sets the tempo of the play. He decides how quickly we're going to pass, whether it's he slows the game down, he speeds it up. So I would put him in that bracket as well as being wrapped up in cotton wool.
So obviously, I know if I was to say to you without context, i.e., looking at this game only, are you happy with the lineup? I know your answer is no. I understand that, but within the context that we have the semi-final coming up on Thursday, are you happy with that team?
I don't mind what he's done. I would have tweaked the team slightly. I'm not happy to see Yarmolenko. It worries the hell out of me. There's one thing I think is a little blind spot, which I do worry about with David Moyes. It is pace. It's pace. I don't think he values, and look, I don't think I know more about football than David Moyes. Far from it, right? But I do think it's a blind spot with him. I'm not sure how much he values pace. I value it highly. I think pace breaks down tactical systems. I think pace allows you to counterattack. I think pace means you don't necessarily even need to have a trick. We talk about Ben Rama's tricks and so on and so forth. If you've got pace, you can actually just knock it past a player, create a race and run onto it. And when you have none in the team, that does worry me. So I don't know if we're playing for corners or something like that. But I don't mind him resting. The ethos that he's got there, the idea surrounding him resting ahead of Frankfurt, don't mind. Wouldn't have played Yarmolenko up front.
My concern is, I think the back threes make sense because that's obviously the back three is going to look at playing on Thursdays. He's having a little trial. My concern is that Masuaku's left back. Because does this mean Masuaku is the plan for Thursday night, and this is why he's playing today? Because surely if the plan is Final's left wing back on Thursday, you'd play Final's there today, so he's got a game with Creswell behind him and that to get ready for Thursday. So I think, if anything, my worry is that Masuaku's in the team, and not so much for this game. It's more, is this what Moyes intends to do for the remainder of the season while we're short of a centre back? Masuaku. I would probably have liked to have seen Fredericks left wing back over Masuaku, if anything. Or at least say left centre back and push Creswell up a bit into the left wing back role. The rest of it I'm okay with. Yarmolenko, the thing is, he's done well for us in the last few weeks. Got a couple of really important goals for us. But in the last week, he's told us that 95% chance he's leaving West Ham in the summer. You know, he's basically saying, I'm leaving in the summer. And we're putting him up front for this game. So what's the motivation there? He's told us, I don't have a future at West Ham United. And we've gone, yeah, okay, but you can play this game, right? It's quite an important game, actually. And you go, I would have been better off playing a youngster. I get Moyes' dilemma here, though, because obviously youngsters had an important game on Friday, and they play again on Tuesday, the under 23. So I don't know, Moyes maybe being too kind to the under 23s to some extent, so he doesn't derail their campaign. But I bet if you took Perkins or Elise to one side and said, do you want to play in both under 23 games, or do you want to play at Stamford Bridge? I think they say, I'll have Stamford Bridge, please. Yes, please, I'll have that one. But I back Moyes on this, actually. I think he's going all out for the Europa League, and I can't fault that at all. I cannot criticise him whatsoever for going gung-ho, all eggs in one basket for the Europa League. We'll only know if it works if we make the Europa League final or not.
But Arsenal fans will not be happy looking at that team.
No, either will Tottenham fans. They'll both be thinking, hang on a minute, we could catch Chelsea, and you've just given them a bit of a three-pointer. Anyway, let's quickly run through the West Ham bench and then take a look at the Chelsea team. So the bench for West Ham this afternoon, we've got all the big hitters on there. We've got Areola on there, as well as Ryan Fredericks and Elise, Declan Rice and Alex Kral, as well as Manuel Lanzini, Nikola Vlasic, who could have played up front to say Yarmolenko, Jared Bowen, and Mikel Antonio. So a big, strong bench, but I'd imagine this is where we are, for whatever reason, hypothetically, Gonzo, we're 2-0 down on the hour mark. Just leave them. Don't use them. Bring on Vlasic and bring on Kral and bring on Elise as your subs. Do not... hang on, let me get rid of this
I
guy.
agree. Don't try and chase the game with the
don't put on Antonio. Don't put on Bowen. Don't put on Rice. Leave them out. Obviously, if it's 0-0 and we've got a chance, or it's 1-1, we've got a chance to go and do it, or we're 1-0 up, get Rice on, where it's 0-0, get Antonio and Bowen on, try and get the 3 points. But if we're out of it, we're out of it. Leave it. I'm happy. I'm happy with what Moyes has done. I get it. I like it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. And do you know what? I mean, actually, rubbing my hands at the door of a fully fit and rested quartet of players there in Rice, Antonio, Bowen and Lanzini fully rested and fully fired up for Frankfurt, I think that gives Frankfurt massive problems because they're all really good players. It's only really fatigue you look at, particularly with with any of them. It's only fatigue. Rice looks at his worst when he's just played a double header for England. Antonio looks at his worst when he's played 2 games in a week. Actually, Bowen never really looks at his worst. You got to go back a long time since Bowen looked rubbish. And Lanzini, well, he's been, he seems to have recovered from his injury now, doesn't he? So, I mean, to have them all rested up, not bad at all, mate. Not bad.
Right, well, we'll just read out the Chelsea team before I do. Let's do what GP suggested here. If you can drop a like on the video while you're watching it, subscribe if you're new to the channel. That'd be much appreciated. Also, just quickly, we've got a promotion running for the next 16 days. These t-shirts, the Mark Noble t-shirts, we've got a big delivery arriving during the game, actually. It's arriving between 2:30 and 3:30. Very inconvenient, but it's rocking up. We've also got another couple of Noble designs on the website. You go onto the website, those 3 products, there's a mug and there's 2 t-shirts from Mark Noble. This is one of them. If you use the code MN16 at the checkout, MN16, you get 16% off. That's running for the next 16 days. Links in description. Now, Gonzo, would you like to know the Chelsea team?
I guess we'll have to.
In goal, we've got Mendy. It looks like they're playing a back 4 today due to lack of defenders, really, unless they're playing someone obscure at right wing back. So I think it's a back 4, which is Azpilicueta at right back with Thiago Silva and Christensen in the centre back positions with Marcos Alonso left back. Midfield trio of Jorginho, Conte, and Loftus-Cheek with an attacking trio of Mason Mount, Timo Werner, and Kai Havertz. Now, one of them could be playing right wing back, Loftus-Cheek perhaps, and it's the usual 3 at the back, but he might have switched up, so it's difficult to see. But Chelsea's team, they're not resting anyone.
Well, Werner's a serious problem for us. They're really, I think, shape can really help us a lot. A deep line can help us a lot. But, he gets one-on-one with anybody. He's just, for the reasons that I said, he's like a whippet. He is a greyhound with a nitrous oxide kit. He's just very, very quick. And actually wouldn't mind him at West Ham, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, I know people think he's crap. He probably wouldn't be a bad player for us, actually. But that's a worry, I've got to say. That being said, it's not their strongest team. That's not the strongest Chelsea team I've seen all season. That much is clear. I'm not quaking in my boots at them. I think Havertz has got some skills. Mount's in good form. If we were playing our best team, I would be saying to you, I'm confident about that. I think we can do this lot. I really would. But it's hard to say because we don't know what West Ham are going to turn up because we've never seen that West Ham before.
Yeah, it's difficult. Once you've seen our team, it's hard to react to their teams with optimism or confidence. And on an unusual day, we rub your hands the fact that they're missing Rudiger at the back. You'd be thinking, hello, we can have a pop this. No Reece James in the starting 11 as well. Hello, let's go. But now you see the West Ham one, you look at this one, you're thinking, okay, they've got pace up front. They've got enough of an aerial threat with Havertz in the box. Got good midfield, decent enough defence as well. It's a good Chelsea team, but I'll run through the benches for the sake of it, if anything, and it doesn't get any better as West Ham fans. The Chelsea bench this afternoon, in no order for myself, is Lukaku's on there, as is Kepa, Pulisic, Chalobah, Kennedy, Ziyech, Sarr, and Ross Barkley. They've got more experience on the bench than we've got in the first team.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've got some good players on the bench, and Ross Barkley's on there as well. So, I mean, there's pace. There's pace as well. You've got there in Kennedy and Pulisic, particularly fast. Those two. You've got someone in Lukaku, if he can be bothered, would be a handful. Might not be. Don't know. Depends if he fancies it, doesn't he? Really? I think he's gone to the whatever the Paul Pogba, can I be asked, School of Performing Arts recently. So, mate, they're a tough team. Got some really good players there. But you know what? It's going to be an interesting game. We've got bigger fish to fry. But I'm pretty sure, as much as David Moyes has sent his team out, there's been intention there. There will be some tactics, undoubtedly. I'm pretty sure David Moyes would bite your arm off for a point now.
He's had a week to prepare as well. I know during the week he's probably been sort of half preparing for Frankfurt. But if this defence, I think it's fair to assume the defence we see today for West Ham is the defence that we're going to see on Thursday for Frankfurt. That means they've had a week on the training ground as a 5, getting slapped about by Antonio and Bowen and Declan Rice and Souček, getting them ready for this one, and then Frankfurt as well. So Chelsea played midweek, so they've had a quick turnaround in regards to games, whereas we've had a bit of an advantage on the training ground for once.
Well, he needs to know what he's getting from these players. If there was one thing I would do in this, I would go around to Masuaku and I would say to him, look, Arthur, we need you. We need you. You've got some really good qualities as a player. My problem is with you, you switch off. All right, I need you to be alert. If you switch off, and you're never going to play for me again. And you certainly won't be playing against Frankfurt. I'll just find something else to do. Prove me wrong, you know. Make it so at West Ham this season you could end up with a European medal. Do you know what I mean? But do not mess me about on this, because I cannot be looking at the pitch worrying about what you're going to do, worrying you're going to be lazy, not worrying you're going to track your runner, worrying that when somebody is about to kick the ball quite hard that you're going to turn your back on them and stuff like that. I need you to find your inner warrior here, mate. Because quite frankly, I'm going to go absolutely ballistic if you don't. He needs to really have a word with him.
Right, bet time. And for you guys who are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. But what we're going to do now, we're going to head on to Bet365. We're going to put a little bet together, and if it wins, we'll give one of you the money. We'll tell you how to get involved in just a minute. But what you fancy and going, I mean, this is difficult. Usually we're quite optimistic. Let's throw some West Ham stuff in there. It becomes a bit trickier today, doesn't it? But
why don't we go for a clean sheet? Why don't we go for a West Ham clean sheet? Why don't we assume that David Moyes is going to stick everyone at the back, basically?
I'll tell you what, I'll put in first. I don't know, actually. We need to get up the pitch. I was going to put in a Craig Dawson shot. It doesn't have to be on target, just a shot. He just has
a header count.
Yeah, as long as it's towards the goal. Yeah, it could hit the defender as long as it's a shot. Let's put that in.
Get a corner, I think you've got a good chance of that.
Right, I do Chelsea to score 1 goal at the most, okay? Just a kiss. If I can. Total goals, Chelsea under 2 goals. Right, okay, that's good. Chelsea can score 1 at the most, right? They can score 1. You can have 1. Right, is there anyone you fancy to get booked? Because there's someone I fancy, but I'll let you say first.
Mark Noble.
Yeah, I was going to do Masuaku because some people think Loftus-Cheek's right wing back. So let's put Masuaku to get booked. Oh, I've just lost my things. Craig Dawson to have a shot. And Chelsea to score 1 goal at the most. And that's all we need.
Okay.
£5 on that bad boy. We're in 150 quid. Right, if these 3 things happen, we'll give one of you £150. Masuaku gets a yellow card or a red card. Masuaku gets a card. Craig Dawson has a shot. It doesn't have to be on target. It could be 10 foot over the bar. It could get blocked by the defender. Anything. As long as Dawson has some form of shot. And Chelsea to score 1 goal at most in the game. We'll give one of you guys £150. To enter in the live chat, please put the following phrase.
Mount a challenge.
Mount a challenge. Get that into the live chat. And if that bet wins, we'll give one of you £150 cash. Gonzo, when we did the breakfast show today, when we did the preview, I said to you, I'm not that nervous for today's game. And my focus is almost off it to some extent because of the Europa League. I think up until now, I've not got distracted by the Europa League. I've sort of been fixated on the Premier League. We must finish in the top 6, 7 to get European football. Now we're in the semi-final where we play Chelsea. I feel like I've now joined a group of fans that are focused solely on the Europa League. I think, and that was before the lineup. Now I've seen the lineup, I think I'm even more focused on the Europa League. I think I'm a bit like, you know what, whatever happens today happens, all about Thursday. And I'm not just saying that because if we win, I reserve the right to go mental and change my mind and say that today was huge, because it will be. But should we lose, I'm probably going to brush it off pretty quickly. Obviously, it depends on the circumstances in which we lose. If we go out there, roll over, get our tummies tickled, and get slapped 5-0, I'm going to have the hump. But should we go out there, the defence looks good. And that's the main thing for me tonight, Gonzo. I want to see this defense is going to get a serious test against Chelsea. This is ideal preparation for Frankfurt. I felt the Villa game was ideal preparation for Sevilla because of their play acting and their diving and what they're slowing the game down. I thought this is good. because this is what we're going to get on Thursday. Tonight, this back five, I'm assuming, is going to be the back five against Frankfurt. They're going to get a serious test tonight, and this is probably what we need to some extent. So I want to come on the review, talk about the performance of defence, and as long as we go out there, show a bit of fight, work hard, I see some form of tactics, I see the defence working well together, I'm okay. Regardless of the result, I'm okay with that, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's not just you, by the way. I'm not sure I'm quite fully there yet. Don't get me wrong, I'm looking for it. In fact, the second thing, actually, my son said this morning when he got up was, I cannot wait until Thursday. He cannot wait until Thursday. So I'm with that. I think we're all really looking forward to it. I'm not ready to surrender. I don't know, you're not saying surrender, but I'm not ready to surrender the league yet. I still think there's an opportunity there. David Moyes doesn't think, I know this about Moyesy, he's me mate. David Moyes doesn't think that this team is going to throw the game. David Moyes thinks his tactical plan could work here, but he absolutely is prioritising Europe. And that's fine. He's got so much credit in the bank, Geo. There's so many times this season he has taken every tournament seriously. He took the League Cup seriously, the FA Cup seriously. He took obviously the Europa League seriously, the Premier League seriously. He really has. You know what? When we win the Europa League, he will take the Super Cup seriously next season, right? He takes all these things seriously. He's got a bit of credit in the bank for this one. He really has to do what he feels is necessary. I totally trust him on this.
Seaside Hammer, now get your thoughts into the live chat. This is a bit where we turn to the live chat and see what you guys are thinking. Could be about the West Ham team. There'll be lots of thoughts about the West Ham team today. Actually, get your thoughts in. It could be about the Chelsea team, how you see the game going, but not your score prediction. Get your thoughts in the live chat and let's have a little look and see what you are saying. Seaside Hammer said our top boys will have had the equivalent of a mid-season break by the time Frankfurt comes around. It's a good point, actually. They played last Sunday, and assuming they don't come off the bench today, they don't play again until Thursday. They've had about 10, 11-day break they would have had. Antonio Bowen, huge thing. Paul says, no idea what the plan now is for Thursday. Don't seem too bothered about the result today, given multiple changes and perhaps defensive lineup will be the one on Thursday. Webley says, it seems the plan for today is to get goals from set pieces. While Yarmolenko's slow, he is an intelligent player and good at winning corners and free kicks. He's also capable of scoring, though, Yarmolenko,
yes,
from 20, 25 yards out. If he gets... And with the greatest respect, I think Thiago Silva is one of the most intelligent footballers in the Premier League. He's not rapid either. If Yarmolenko can get one-on-one with someone 25 yards out, he's not going to beat him for pace. But what he can do is get a half a yard and get a shot away. And like Webley said, he might go out for a corner, it might test Mendy, it might even go in. You just never know. Harry said, I don't like Gonzo do anything on the bet. He got the Chelsea goal.
It's Harry. Come on, mate. You know, you've been following Hammer's chat a long time. You've seen my bets. I think I've won one bet, and I don't even mean one of these live bets. Once in the last 7 or 8 years, I've messaged Geo, right, Geo, and I've said I've won a bet. Once I've screenshotted my phone. So you don't want me doing your bets.
Rue says Moyes is damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Clearly protecting the lads pre-Frankfurt, which you respect. I think a lot of people agree, though, Rue. I think a lot of people in the live chat, when the team come out, there was a bit of shock, and there's obviously 1 or 2 players in the starting 11 that people are unhappy with, but I don't think they're unhappy with the rotation. I think it's the inclusion of 1 or 2 players, and I didn't really realise till I read out the bench. When I read out Vlasic, I thought, today seems like an okay game to put Vlasic in, but he didn't do great last week against...
Yeah, he started him last week, didn't
Burnley.
he? So,
and you just never know if he's still maybe struggling. You never know where Vlasic, he was clearly upset given
that
the
would
tackle.
Worry me. That I've got to say, that would worry me about. I totally understand it in the moment. You know, the heebie-jeebies.
He may not be. I'm just saying.
No, I know, and I think highly unlikely he is. But if he was still disturbed by that a week later, that would really worry me about his. You know, just his mental toughness, basically.
Ricky's dad says, can relax now, really, not expecting anything. Steve 50 says a point would be excellent today, a win would be unexpected. Scarborough Hammer says, as long as Masuaka digs in today and gives it some, I have faith we won't roll over. Michael says he doesn't know why, but he's got a strong feeling we're going to get a 1-0 win.
I love that song.
Fizzle Whizzle says Chelsea are going to beat us anyway. Doesn't matter who we play, so we might as well rest some players. Well, let's scroll down.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with that one. I'm not sure I agree with that. Look, the whole Yarmolenko thing, don't get me wrong. I would not concern me if he had a quick player on one side of him or two players. I think he'd be really, really good at it. That's all that concerns me. And look, at the end of the game, if we do lose, we're going to have to dissect what's happened. But it won't mean that we'll have to do our disclaimer, but it won't mean that we're overly blaming Moyes. I agree with, as E20 said earlier, a free hit. I think it is a free hit.
Yeah, I'm going to click on that.
Yeah,
I've not got there yet. I'm a bit behind.
Oh, right.
Mark says, would rather see Fornals at wing back, Vlasic shot fire. Me too. I think I prefer what Mark's suggesting there.
Me too. Yeah.
But there is every chance, though, maybe I'm giving him far too much benefit of the doubt here. There's every chance Moyes has obviously had his team doing his research on Frankfurt and Barcelona, just in case. And he's got everything that he needs about Frankfurt. And there's a small chance that Moyes has thought, okay, and he's almost picking his defence based on Frankfurt rather than based on Chelsea today. And for whatever reason, he wants Fornals in his front three to play Frankfurt. And he's thought, well, I don't want him wing back against. I need him up there against Frankfurt. So that's why I don't know. Just thinking out loud. E20 James said it's a free hit. Yarmolenko loves a goal against Chelsea, but it's all about Europa League now. 2 ties from glory.
That's what I said.
Ron Down, Tony says, will we remember this game in 10 years if we win the Europa League? I think not. Depends on
I'll make sure I do, Ronza and Tony. Now you've messed it. I'm going to stick it in a memory bank. So in 10 years' time, I'll say, I remember that game against Chelsea.
If I'm not clicking on that comment. Someone tickled me, but I'm not clicking on it. I'll tell you what, though, Mark Noble scores a 30-yard screamer and we won 1-0. I'll remember that in 10 years' time. Mark Noble's last ever goal for West Ham was at Stamford Bridge. His second last ever game in the Premier League, assuming he gets to play against Man City in a few weeks' time, which I wonder what Moyes is going to do for that game, because you need to play him. Do you play him at the start and take him off in the 16th minute? Do you put him on with 60 minutes to go? But then what happens when you're 1-0 up? You're not making a sub for the sake of it, are you?
Yeah.
We'll discuss that.
Just before you do, just what Harry's saying about my bets returning £1 million. You might not have got there yet. I was on yesterday, Harry, 860,000 from about 50 pence, right? I'll tell you what, it came in. Man United, Arsenal came in, precise score. I'll tell you, I thought, this is it. It's the big time. And then every single result I got wrong after that.
So you got one result right?
In the accumulator, yeah. But, what a start to the day.
It wasn't.
No, scoreline. One scoreline, right?
Yeah, no, but that's like sitting there watching a lottery and the first number comes out is yours. You don't go, I'm on for the jackpot. No. There's another 5 to go.
What do you mean you don't? Yes, you do. It's exactly what you do. Party, phoning everyone up. Oh, lottery's out. Look at that. Number 14.
No, my opinion on the lottery changed once when the Euro Millions. I can't remember what I had. I think I had 3 numbers and a star. And I thought, oh, hello. And I went into the shop and got like 20 quid. I was like, I genuinely thought I was going to get 300, 400 pounds or something. I thought I was going to get something.
Have you seen you get an email when you win? If you do it online, do you know you get an email? Basically, you get an email from National Lottery. It says you've won a prize. Oh, the first time it happened. Oh, wonderful. I'd won a free lucky dip. Oh, no. I'd already spent. I thought, I thought if it was 20 million, they probably would have called me. And maybe it was 50, 60 grand. I've already spent it in my head. You know what I mean? Told the missus. So we said, pack your bags. We won the lottery. And she said, what? I said, pack your bags. She said, what do I need? Hot stuff? Cold stuff? Bikini? Scarf? I said, no. Pack your bags. Fuck off. We won the lottery. It was, anyway, that was that.
You used that joke on here before. I remember it.
Did I?
But we've had a lot of new subscribers since then, so it doesn't matter. So they've all enjoyed it for the first time. The old Hammer Chat people will be like, I've heard this before, Gonzo. But
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do my can dancers one again at some point if you're lucky.
Hammer 1999 says, don't hold much hope, but in Moyes we trust. Praying Noble has a good game and puts his annual big tackle in to get the boys going. So it is a big game for Mark Noble, though, because I said that he's got to earn the thing, but he's obviously sitting there. He will want to be part of the game against Frankfurt. He'll want to get on the pitch at some point, and you're not going to get on if you don't do it against Chelsea. Tim says mental lineup. We're all wondering how it's going to go. Rice on the bench is madness, but it's tactical. Depends on where on the pitch we turn out weak. He will come on before half time. not sure about that. Moyes doesn't make subs before half-time, regardless of what's going on. Man City score 2 goals, and he'd still be playing come half-time.
60 minutes, wait until the 60. Can't be done before. Yeah.
Ionic says, wasn't shocked at all with the Frankfurt game coming up, far more important. Ashley says, need Burnley to do us a favour against Wolves today.
That is true. That is true.
Just as important. Hammer 99 again says, Chelsea don't hold much pace other than Timo Mount will sit deep, so the lack of pace on our side shouldn't be too apparent.
The trouble is you only need one, and I think there's a massive disparity between those two, because I think Werner would be probably in the top 5 fastest players in the Premier League. It's rapid. Do you know what I mean? He's absolutely rapid. That's what I'm worried about.
Jono says he's usually very confident about our away form, but today's worried. Still betting on West Ham. Confident on our away form. I could be wrong. It was our only away win in 2022 against Kidderminster Harriers. Leon, obviously, before someone says Leon. I'm sure that's our only away win in 2022, Kidderminster Harriers. And anyway, John, I don't recognise your username, so if you're new, welcome. If not, sorry, I've just offended you.
So, hold on. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, not welcome.
Also welcome. Comment more, because I don't recognise your name. Irish Tommy says, Moyes is essentially running a defence versus attack dress rehearsal ahead of Thursday. If we defend solidly and only lose 1 or 2-0, that would be a success. Paper Rock says, I like the way he's rotated players. Could have done it earlier in the season, but this group are a tight unit. It's different, though. It's hard. I think it's hard for Moyes to... Everybody's got mental blocks, right? Everybody just has them in relation to other things in life and stuff. You've just got this thing. You almost know what the right thing to do is, but you just struggle to convince yourself it's the right thing to do. And when you're playing the group stage of the Europa League or whatever, or you're in the last 16, I think it's difficult as a manager to convince yourself to focus on that competition, because there is still a long way to go. The finishing line's not even in sight. This is the first time in the competition we now know, to some extent, well, I guess you could argue the Lyon one, we now know who we've got. We know where we are. We've got Frankfurt, and we know if we get to the final, we're playing Leipzig or Rangers. We've got 50-50 as to our next opponents, and that's that. We know how the land lies. Even when we played Sevilla, we didn't know who we had. Well, we did. We knew we had the draw coming up. We didn't know who it was. It could be Lyon. It could be Barcelona. We didn't know who was up next for us should we beat Sevilla. I think it's hard to focus on that competition, because if you go out and you're throwing points, your league's over, your Europa League's over, 8 games to go in the Premier League, your season's finished. It's not great, so I get it. Are you going to read it out? You're just going to nod at him?
Well, I was waiting as you were talking. I was raising an eyebrow. I wasn't just nodding. I was doing a lot of stuff going on there. Ross says, this is my first pre-match I've seen live. It's actually addictive. Ross, you're welcome, but if you know. That's all I'd say. If you're not, Geo gets a bit grumpy about such things. But welcome to your first live pre-match build-up show.
Rainflow says, "Do you understand, Moyes? If we lose,
he's got an accent, doesn't he?
What's the point of playing Dawson, Suchek for now, and why don't we put in Vlasic or some under 23 player?" And Damien says he can't see him starting Athamasuk on Thursday. Surely not. He's a goal head start for the opposition. Still think there's a possibility of a tweak to that 5 or going with a 4 still.
I think we may well see Fornals at left wing back in the week if he goes with this formation, because then Lanzini, because Lanzini will be coming in, Rice will be coming in. I won't be surprised if that happens.
This is a good point. I wonder, by Ricky's dad says, I wonder if Chelsea see our lineup and think they just have to turn up to win. Could be their undoing. And it sort of feeds into what John has said, which is Chelsea might not have a fire under their bottom today due to not having much to gain. They're third no matter what. Both valid points, actually. You know, it must be hard for them to get motivated to finish third. They're used to winning. They're there to win Premier League titles, but not to finish third in Premier League. It's like Man United. Fernandes, this was before the Arsenal game. Fernandes said they got beat by Liverpool convincingly, and they said, well, they're going for the title. We're not playing for anything. Almost to say, what do you expect other than us to play for that? Well, they're playing for the Europa League. They're playing for the finishing 4th in Champions League. But what it does do is show their mentality is almost like Premier League title or nothing to some extent. And I think that's the same with Chelsea. Finishing third, does that motivate any of their players? Probably not.
How does he not get punched by the opposition players during a game? I watched that whole
Anyone-
game. He's so nauseating. He's the most
He's-
annoying. Oh, it's terrible. He's moany. He's niggly. He's nasty.
Honestly,
he's a wind-up merchant.
I used to think Zaha was the number one, forgive my French, dickhead in the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes is by far the number one dickhead in the Premier League.
It's terrible.
Ryan says it's a bold move by Moyes, and what I'm actually impressed to see. He's got me even more excited for Thursday. Would like to see some youngsters 1-0 sneaky win.
Oh, more excited for Thursday. I like that. Me too.
But you just said earlier that you're not quite there yet.
But I'm more than I was.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, right, Gonzo, what's your thoughts? Get your score predictions into the live chat as well. Get your score predictions in. How you see this game going? Give me your score predictions, and you give me yours, Gonzo. And the preview, you said 2-1 Chelsea. You must have known what Moyes was going to do in the preview.
Did I say that in the preview? 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, you said 2-1 Chelsea. No, you said 1-1. Sorry, you said 1-1.
I think.
Apologies.
They tend to the predictions and losses seem to stick in my mind. It's easy for me to say. I think we might lose 2-0 today. I've got to be honest. Having seen the teams, I don't. The thing is, it doesn't hold any weight. Otherwise, when I turn around and say we're going to win, if I predict a win for everything, do you know what I mean? Everyone just say, well, you predict every game we play or predict a win. I think we probably lose 2-0. But I do agree with, what many people have said about lots of things. What Tommy said in particular, a bit of a training match, really. But mostly, yeah, you know what, mate? I've just enjoyed this build-up show. It's been quite addictive.
I'll say 2-0 Chelsea as well. It's difficult to think anything else, really. I'm glad there's still some optimistic people in the chat. I do quite like the predictions when we do the live chat. I find it quite an honest set of predictions. We get through the games that we're expected to win. Most people predict a win. In games like this, most people predict a loss. I think the good thing is, though, we're going into this game with that old... I remember Billy Connolly saying... I know Billy Connolly. How can you quote Billy Connolly prior to a football game? But Billy Connolly said, if you expect nothing, you can't be disappointed. And it's a bit like that mentality going into this one. If we expect a defeat, anything better than a 2-0 defeat is good for me and you to some extent. We get a point, we'll be delighted with it. If we get a win, we'll Jesus, we'll be doing cartwheels on this. We'll be hailing Moyes as a messiah, the genius, and Masuaku's this, that, and the other. So fingers crossed we can get something from the game, but it's hard to see it when you look at the starting 11s out there and stuff. And like I said, I'm more hoping to see almost a really good performance. Ben Johnson at right centre back is an interesting one. We know Creswell can do it left centre back, but Creswell can only do it left centre back when he's got two centre backs next to him, if that makes sense. He's usually got Zuma and Dawson or Diop and Dawson. He's got two there. Now he's got like a centre back and a full back. Who's going to be the runners out the centre back? Is it only going to be Creswell? Is him and Johnson going to take it in turns to advance to that back three with the ball? It's interesting. It gives Moyes a bit of flexibility if he wants to. If it's not working with Creswell, say, well, you stay back and let Johnson dribble out the back with it now. So Fowles should be playing 10 yards further up the pitch. He'll be key for us today to get down that wing. And while he doesn't have the pace like you speak of, he's keen to get forward, and he does get forward. He hugs the touchline really well. He stretches the game. I think if we can keep getting the ball out to Soufal on the right, get his crosses in. And Yarmolenko's good in the air. While if we speak about him outside the box and stuff, Yarmolenko scored enough goals with his head to be a threat in there. We know Fornals will work his arse off. Big chance for Ben Rama. Currently, he's not in that team to play against Frankfurt. Probably won't be either. But if he impresses today, goes out there today, puts in a man-of-match performance, gets a goal or an assist or causes Chelsea bother, even if he doesn't get in the starting team on Thursday, what he does do is becomes the first sub.
Yeah.
Says to Moyes, it's not working. Get me on with half an hour to go. Look what I can do. Big game for a lot of players out there, Gonzo. Any final words you'd like to add? I'm hoping Charlie will be ready soon.
Yes.
What?
And Danny DeVito. In fact, I just had a little listen because I swear he's in the green room, but we can switch his mic on, and I could hear he was in the bathroom. I had toilet noises, you know. So I'm sure he'll be along shortly. Look, Craig Dawson is like having 5 defenders and 2 attackers, funnily enough, and David Beckham with those long-range passes. In fact, I'm surprised Moyes has put any other players out there at all. I would have just sent Virgil van Dawson out there to take on Chelsea. it's going to be interesting, Gio. I totally agree with what you said about Johnson. I think that is the interesting observation about this game. If I'm looking at anyone, it's going to be how is Johnson playing in this formation. There's going to be no surprise how Noble plays. There's going to be no real surprise how Yarmolenko plays. I mean, he'll either play well or he won't, But I do think that's a new position for him, one we certainly haven't seen him for any length of time in at West Ham as well. That right-sided centre-back. Is he going to be a more traditional defender, let's say, or in terms of that holding that position, or is he going to sort of mirror what Cresswell does when Cresswell plays a left centre-back, which, as you alluded to earlier, he sort of marauds up the pitch a little bit. And, you may well find that actually his delivery and his technical ability, whilst it doesn't look fantastic when he's in an elevated position as a wing-back, when you need Johnson to unlock a defence, you might think, oh, maybe his technique's a little bit suspect. You may actually find, as a centre-half, it looks like quite an impressive technique. He looks far more skillful than centre-halves do. So I think that's going to be quite interesting. We also... we alluded to this when we did our Patreon breakfast show this morning, which was the height. You made references to his height. I think you called him an Oompa Loompa, if I remember rightly. But as I
mentioned, for clarity, I didn't, but it was funny, so I let him have it.
Yeah, thank you. He didn't. Most things I say aren't true, just to put it out there, including the bets, fun enough, and the score lines. Most things I turn out to be rubbish. However, Geo did sort of mention that. Did you think he was not quite as tall as a traditional centre back might be? Not so bother him at right centre back. I still think he's got some good positional defensive qualities. He's not the height of David Sullivan, is he? Let's be honest. He's what, 5'10", 5'11". I think he'll do just fine, and particularly with Dawson there as well.
Do you think if Dawson has a poor game today, it just doesn't work, right? The experiment, let's call it the experiment, the solution, whatever, it doesn't work. Do you think Moyes is buggered for Thursday night? Because what's his? Does he have a backup plan? I mean, this is. I've always thought. I know you thought he'd play in a back four, but this back three is what I was convinced Moyes would go to back three today with that three.
Yeah.
And part of the reason is I struggle to see anything else you can do unless it's putting Declan Rice there. I would be concerned if, in the first half, Johnson's having a poor game. We may see a formation switch with Declan Rice coming on to centre back for the second half, almost to test him at centre back alongside Craig Dawson. I think that would be my biggest worry going into this game. That almost doesn't work, and Moyes has got to come up with something 3 days before a Europa League semi-final. That would be my big concern.
He does have a backup plan. I mean, you've just alluded to one of them there. It's just he's choosing not to activate them at the moment. So I think the first backup plan he's going to have is what you said. He is. Oh, okay. He's also got another thing, which is to play Elise. It almost seems like he's never going to do it. There has to come a tipping point. So if it doesn't work, let's be fair, the one thing none of us seem to want to mention, obviously a few people referred to it in the chat, is Dawson getting injured. Then we have issues. But Moyes does have things that he can do. And I also believe that David Moyes enables the players and a team to be more than the sum of their parts. So we are decimated a little bit by injury, well, quite a lot by injury in terms of defence. But if there was one manager that I would have to think, particularly with a week on the training ground, that can he conjure up something? Can he turn Johnson into a centre half? Can he make the shape so resolute that Chelsea can't break through? It would be David Moyes and his coaching team. It really, really would. In fact, one thing he's very good at is getting players to change positions, isn't he? He's done it numerous times with numerous players, numerous positions. So I would hope it doesn't happen, though, because we can only improve, bearing in mind the amount of time we've had to practice. So they've had a week on the training grounds to drill this. It's not like Diop. Oh, look, he just mentioned Scarborough Hammer said Chalobah's drafted. So they've only just found out that Christensen is injured. So they've had no time to train and adjust to that. We've had a whole week because Diop, we've known Diop was out. We know Zuma's out, so on and so forth. We've had a whole week to train at this sort of stuff. So with an extra, if it works, then we get an extra, 2 or 3 days as a home game, 2 or 3 days on the training ground. That can only get better. It can only improve. So, yeah, I think he does have options to answer your question, but confident? I don't know. Yeah, pretty much so, I think.
Yeah, just for official confirmation, Chalobah has been drafted in last minute for Christensen, which seems a bit daft that they put him in the first place. He went off injured in the last game against Arsenal, Christensen, but he's obviously tried to play him today. That's not worked. So that's a last minute change for Chelsea at heart of defence and makes him a bit weaker. You know, if Thiago Silva wasn't there, I'd be a bit more confident of us scoring a goal, but doesn't make too much difference. You know, Christensen. The interesting thing is, though, with Chalobah is that Tuchel just doesn't like him, or there's something Tuchel's got against him because he's not been included him in his squad recently. When he got asked about it, he just said, "I'm not picking him." There was no explanation as to why he wasn't in this squad. He just basically said, "I'm not picking him." Simple as that, really. I don't want to pick him. I'm not picking him. So I don't know if there's something happened. But anyway, before myself and Gonzo disappear to go watch the game, don't go anywhere because Mr. Walsh time. I've just seen your text, Charlie. You're not having a good time at the minute. You got a sore back.
It's all gone wrong. I could barely breathe because my back is done. The fridge is broken, so that's something that's going on. It's been a good morning, Geo. I can't lie to you. It's been an excellent morning. I've just taken paracetamol to try and dull the pain. Hopefully that'll help when, you know, whatever happens in 45 minutes.
When you have to leap out your chair to celebrate the Mark Noble.
Oh, exactly. Jesus Christ. I don't think there'll be any leaping today. I can tell you that much for a fact.
An ibuprofen is what you need, my friend, for the back.
Mate, all I've got, I've taken what's available.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A what's it and a paracetamol.
Yeah.
You need 2 what's-its, to be fair. You know, kids have 1 what's-it when they're poorly. An adult can have 2 what's-its.
Just quickly going to throw this in there. Irish Tommy has said that Moyes just not beating Burnley made his mind up about today's lineup. It seems he doesn't trust the players qualified through the league, putting all his eggs in the Europa League basket. See, that could be a blessing in disguise, then, not beating Burnley. If it's meant that Moyes is then rotated for today to prioritise Thursday night kind of thing.
Maybe he was all about the Champions League then, because Europa League is very much still on. Maybe up until the fact that we didn't beat Burnley, he still thought he was getting Champions League. Weird, isn't it? The draw against Burnley's made very little difference to our Europa League thing. We're not in points-wise, we're not massively different in terms from where we were before the Burnley game. So even though we played Burnley, and bear in mind everyone's played, there's very little disparity there. The only thing that has changed is Champions League has gone.
That's true. Charlie, is the Discord link not in the description anymore, Charlie?
It should be.
It's there all the time. I haven't deleted it.
Yes, there.
It's there. If you check in, there's a lump of links together. There's like 5 or 6 links. Boom, 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 boom. It's in there. It's clear it says Discord. Join our Discord or something.
You might not see it. Under the screen, there's a little arrow and it has a drop-down menu. You've got to click the little arrow and then all the data, all everything that's written underneath here will basically unfold and it's in there.
And Jamie, if you're talking about it's not in the Discord yet, it should be soon if it's not already there. I know they tend to put it in relatively last second. So keep an eye out as well. So keep an eye out.
Right, I need to bounce because I need to go get ready for the game. Gonzo needs to bounce as well, so get rid of him. And Charlie will be with you for the first half. I'll join you at half time. And Mr. Walsh, I'm going to see if I can find someone for the second half for you. But I should keep up to you. But anyway, I'll catch you back at half time with Charlie be with you for the first half. Hopefully, if he doesn't seize up prior to then.
We'll see how it goes. Thank you, Gio, and thank you, Gonzo. And of course, thank you to Stuart Morris Accountants, your accounting professionals. If you need money things done, then I'm telling you, just ask them. It's easy. It's light work, innit? Don't bother doing it yourself. It's too much effort. And this is what I would do. I'd go Stuart Morris Accountants. Doesn't matter whether it's business, doesn't matter whether it's personal. Get them involved. Stuart Morris Accountants, thank you very much. Oh, I've clicked on ETC Sports. There we go. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. How are you all? I hope you're better than me. I am in pain. Right, let's start because it's an interesting one today with the lineups. A scale of 1 to 10. Let's go quickly. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result today? Let me know. None. Sadly, none. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. I will be in North Idaho today. North Idaho is definitely the place I'm in today because it is, of course, on Sky Sports in the UK, which I don't have access to. So I've, of course, gone to my holiday home in North Idaho to watch it on the North Idaho TV stations, of which you can watch it on as well, kind of, if you want. If you're struggling to find a place to watch today, go down into the description below and click on a thing called join our Discord. It's completely free to join, but more importantly, on the left hand side there is a bit there called stream links, and you will find what you're looking for. Good to see you, Gatesy. Hope you're well, bro. Hope things are all good. Hope things are better than for me. I'm in a lot of pain. Right, let's have a look at these confidence, because it's a vibey one with this lineup. You could go either way. 1, 8, 1, 4, 6, 0.5 HD. Jesus Christ. 2, but I don't give a flip either way. I mean, with Thursday on the horizon, that makes sense. 10, Chuck. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're all good. Hope you're well. 2, 5, 4, 5, 3, minus 20. Survive the first 20 minutes with a clean sheet, and there is hope. It's not unfair, Nick, to be fair. 2, 9, 3, 4. -1, 10, easy dub, Mark, no, 1-0. Let's go, Dean, yes. A slightly worried 69, nice. And also, yeah, I can appreciate that. I think that's probably where I'm at. 5, West Ham do well when I have no faith. Good, all right, that's that. It's one of those things that shouldn't make sense and logically probably doesn't, but yes. 3, good to see you, Skits. I hope you're well. Hope team can leave you at. I hope so too. I'm not even sitting in my usual chair. I'm just, it's the chair. We'll go into it at some point. Let's have a look. I'm a 3, 8 for Thursday though. Love that. What have I done? Just my back's gone, mate. It's just gone. Good to see you, Mulder. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. 3. Listen, I can't confirm or deny, but what I would say is, no harm in asking. Well, actually, there is harm in asking. I probably wouldn't ask. But at the same time, no harm in asking. 2, but my votes are going to be Buttercups. Toronto. How are you, sir? I hope you're well. Hope you're all good. 5, -1,000 from Mario Balotelli, who is not giving the boys any hope whatsoever. Mario, please. How is it going in Serie C? Was it serious? Is it Serie C? Balotelli's in now? Can't remember. Soam's on a 2. 1, 5. Still hoping for a West Ham win. It's going to be a tough game. I think it's one of those ones where I can appreciate exactly why the vibe would be so low, right? You look at that team: Fabianski, Kufal, Johnson, Dawson, Cresswell, Masuaku, Noble, Souček, Benrahma, Fornals, Yarmolenko. We're playing the sort of, I would assume, the 3 at the back system that we were playing during Moyes' the beginning of the second tenure, where we had great success. You're looking at Aaron Cresswell getting forward, that sort of stuff. And it worked relatively well, and it worked against big teams. We can't act like it didn't. I know there's a lot of disdain for how Moyes sets up against big teams a lot of the time, and I can appreciate that and respect that. But it did work against large teams. It's not just a case of, only 4 at the back or nothing. So I guess with the pieces he's got, he's kind of gone with a lot of the most experienced peoples, at least in a defensive sense. The bigger problem for me here is the lack of Rice, is the lack of Bowen. These are people, Antonio to a slightly lesser extent, but Antonio, these are the pieces that usually sort of make it tick. And missing them, I don't know how I feel. But then again, I can't act like at the beginning of the season when we went up against Zagreb and teams like that, when we looked at the team and we were like, "Ooh, that's weak. That's weak." We ended up blapping them. So I think structure over individuals is maybe the key here, and I'm hoping to God that this comes to form in that sense. Will it? I don't know. I think Antonio is key to that counter-attacking aspect with the pace. You're talking Bowen as well to a lesser extent, but I think just Mikel Antonio makes that whole thing work. I think where would we be in Moyes' first tenure without Arnautovic? Where would we be at the beginning of Moyes' second tenure without Antonio? At the beginning portions of it, probably significantly worse off. And so there's some concern there. I can see why it would be a low number. I'm personally at 5. No, I'm at a 4. I think it's more likely that Chelsea blap us than anything. But I can't act like I can't act like there's a zero-sum chance that we couldn't just pull something off it. I don't know. Granny, yes. Who looks like, bro? It's a bad tie. I feel like Ashton. In the testimonial. Do you know what I mean? I've done a madness, and now I'm just walking around in pain. But yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And the Chelsea team, you're looking at that, and we're being honest about it, it's just pretty good. Of course, Christensen's gone off because he's done the same thing I have or something. And Shalaba is in, but apart from that, it's just very good. And it's difficult. We've come up against the two worst teams to possibly come up against before a Europa League came. But at the same time, look, if you want to test something new, if you want to test this 5 at the back, these people, we're talking a 3 at the back with only 1 centre back. If you want to test these things, and you do it against Norwich, then yeah, there's less risk. But can you really trust it? Listen, if we come through against this game, with any sort of respect on our name, as it were, then that puts us in incredibly good stead for Thursday. To be fair, who knows though? Not confident as Frank was in the UK. It's always an issue, That's probably what's happened to my back. It's too close. The atmosphere, the air's changed. Something's gone wrong. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sleeping comfortably anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's just a problem. Let's go for score predictions. We are just over 3 minutes away from kickoff. Let's go for score predictions. Remember, I have the timer up here, so you know exactly how far behind you I am. Of course, I'm in North Idaho, so there will be some delay in that sense. You've got the YouTube delay, then you've got the North Idaho delay, if you see what I'm saying. So there will be some essence of delay there. So I have that in the top corner, so you know exactly how far behind you I am. But hopefully, it'll only be for good times. Like I say, if we do score, there'll be very little celebrations on my part. There'll be a yes, and probably that's about it. Even that hurt quite a lot. Let's have a look at some of these score predictions. Right, a heroic 2-2 draw. I would take that all day. I can't lie to you. Do you know what? Any points at this point I would take all day. I can't act like I wouldn't. You offer me a 2-2 draw, a 1-1 draw, whatever it is, I would happily and most assuredly take that. 0-0. I'll take that. 0-0. 2-1. GP. 1-1. Take the point. 3-0 Chelsea. Yeah. 4-0. 4-0 Chelsea, says Jake. The elephant in the room that I'm artfully avoiding right now. Look, he might have a barnstorm at it. 2-1 Yama double. Love that. He scored against Chelsea before. We've seen it happen. And that he used pace and everything. We didn't even know he had it. And yeah, he went flying for it. It was mad. 2-1. We'll take that. Rubber. I'm not going to lie to you. 2-0 Chelsea. Probably more accurate. Still no link. Like I say, it tends to happen right before, especially with the earlier kickoffs. It tends to happen right before kickoff. So just keep your eye out, Jake. It should be there. 3-2 Yarmolenko. Oh, yes. Big dubs. 3-2. Yarmo winner. A lot of Yarmo love, and I'm big into it. Yes, I'm in my holiday home in North Idaho today because Sky Sports I do not have access to. And there's nothing anyone can do to prove me otherwise. It's Danny's holiday home. He lets me stay here. It's the whole vibe, isn't it? The whole vibe. If we're not going to run right, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Get us. Thank you. 1-0. I would love that. I would love it. I would quote that every single watch long, and I'm going to continue to do it. 2-1, 1-0, 3-0, 3-1. Those are your score predictions. All right, let's turn on my North Idaho TV as it were. Remember, we'll be live throughout the entire game. I don't know what's going to happen at halftime. I've said to Geo, I'm going to try and do the first 45 minutes and revisit at halftime and figure out what's going on. He's off to try and find someone who can help you for the second half at least. But remember that we are live every single game here on the channel, doing cheeky watch-alongs, doing build-up shows, doing reviews. So make sure to subscribe. And if you haven't already, hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on any of that future goodness. Be like, how in pain is Charlie going to be? Just keep checking in. I'm not even going to tell you to stay. Just check in every now and then and be like, oh, he's in a lot of pain. Make sure to keep an eye on that. And like the video while you're there. 300 is the goal every one of these streams. We always try to hit 300. We've been doing pretty well recently. And as I say that, we have just smacked 300. We've just run straight into it. What a time to be alive. Thank you very much, everyone. 300 has happened. You love to see it. You love to see it. So let's see where we can get to. Let's just keep going. Which channel would it'll be in Streamlinks. So just one last time, if you haven't seen it already, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, there are ways you can do it. Make sure to scroll down into the description below and see join our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs are welcome, but more importantly, it's free to join. And on the left hand side, there is a section called Stream Links. You click on that, you find what you're looking for. Like I said, it usually happens just before kickoff, so you're probably going to look about now. I've not kicked off on my screen. You'll know when I have. When the timer starts, I'll of course make it bait as well by saying out loud. Deploy the fighting. Yes, Lucas. Yes, let's go. Let's go. It is of course on Sky Sport. It is of course on Sky Sports in the UK. I don't know what it's on in America. I think DAZN is one of them. Not sure. But the players take the knee before kickoff. Here we go. It is West Ham versus Chelsea. A huge opportunity, a huge match for both sides to try and really put it in. Kickoff has happened. Deploy the boys. Come on, you Irons. West Ham to take kickoff. Instant big boot up the pitch. No clue what's going. I've got no clue how we're even gonna line up. That's kind of exciting. I can't lie, that is kind of exciting just to see what the heck's gonna happen. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, and a massive opportunity for us because if we can get a big WSA network in America, there we go. It's that chair behind me that I'm not sat on. I'm sat on a kitchen chair today because that chair is so broken that for the last several weeks I've been sitting awkwardly on it to try and not injure my back, and in doing that I have injured my back. Not much you can do, is there? Not much you can do. But it was also just supporting West Ham. You know how it goes. But yeah, given the results yesterday and everything else, this is a massive opportunity. If we were to somehow squeak out a win here, for example, all of a sudden we'd be in top 6. And if we have any hope of getting Europa, if we have any hope of getting European football next season, we do need to keep that league challenge alive. As much as we do have an opportunity to win the Europa League amazingly, and I can't believe we're saying that does exist, it will be a case of just sort of we have to be sensible about this and think the league's potentially still the best way of going about it. We win, we go into 6th place, and it's not even like other teams have games in hand. We would just be 6th. So it's a big opportunity, but it's also big on Chelsea's half as well because they want to just utilize that. They just want to get it done, get 3rd. Masuaku instantly coming across and stopping Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who looks like he's out on the right-hand side. I'm going to sneeze. It's going to be very painful. That wasn't fun. That was not fun. Right. Chelsea attacking down the right-hand side, looking to try and move their way into us. Werner plays it out now to Loftus-Cheek. Into Kante, who tries to just dink it in towards the back post and it's headed away by Sofao. So if there was any doubts, you have Sofao playing as the right wing back, Johnson playing as a right centre back. You can see instantaneously now as Chelsea are passing it around in the sort of left hand side of the pitch, trying to find their way forward. You can see Ben Johnson just thinking a lot about his positioning. That's something that's going to happen here. You look at it and you say, well, realistically, Cresswell's played left centre back before. He sort of knows what he's doing in the back three. He understands that positioning. Ben Johnson, though, as far as I'm aware, has never done it before. Let me know if I'm wrong. I don't think he's done it for the first team. At least he might have done it for the youth team. But as far as I'm aware, hasn't played in it as sort of a centre back or even a right centre back in a back three. So there's going to be a lot of positional thinking for Ben Johnson today, and you can see that as they were going forward there. But still, we dealt with that relatively okay. But we did just end up punting up the pitch, looking maybe towards Yarmolenko. Noble and Souček doing well to try and block that one out, but a pass into Yarmolenko doesn't work, and Chelsea start trying to play through the lines, find their way forward. Kante takes the ball and lays it out wide. to Alonso. Alonso to Werner, who's on the left, trying to find his way in, finds Kante again, and there's just a lot of boys back. Ball in, just headed away by Craig Dawson, who, if ever there was a beautiful position, it would be, if ever was on a beautiful game for him to have a barnstormer, this would be it. It's played out, but just slowly forcing it back. So it looks like we've got, I mean, you would expect it to be a sort of a 5-2-3, if you want to put it in those sort of terms, maybe, you know, with the 5 at the back, and then you have Souček and Noble in the middle, and then you have a 3 with Yarmolenko down the middle, and potentially Fornals on the left, Fornals on the right, and Ben Rama on the left. But as of right now, it seems like Fornals is the one who's most central. It feels very much like, and I can't lie to you, Sam Allardyce versus Spurs. Do you remember that? Do you remember that excellent 6-4-6-0 formation when Rafael Morrison scored and we won 3-0? It has a similar vibe to that, where I would have thought Yarmolenko would have been playing as the sort of striker, central figure, but he does seem to be standing directly on the right-hand side of the pitch, with Pablo Fornals more central and Ben Rama on the left. It could just be that maybe you're seeing maybe you're seeing him playing up front in a 2 or something. I don't know. We'll see. I need to massage it back. He's busy. He's busy looking in that area, just making sure there's no. No, I don't want that. Just making sure. I've opened something else there. Just making sure. Where is it? Just making sure that area of the room is safe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just got to be safe. Just got to be safe about him. Also, I know that ibuprofen thing. Trust me, all we have in is paracetamol, so I've taken that. I've dropped it again. I can't really move it around, so I'm just going to leave it there. It is what it is. It is what it is. Jim Jam, Footy Pass is something that I would suggest you look into. It's very useful. Is all I'll say. It's very useful. Hopefully, it'll happen, but I'm just saying. Also, hot water bottle. If I had one, trust me, that would be fully involved right now. I'd be fully involved. Masuaku taken down there by Mason Mount. One thing we don't need is injuries, even to Arthur Masuaku. I didn't hear a lot of the build-up show because I was busy dying. Let's have a look what happened here. It's Mason Mount who he just sort of leans in. I don't think he's in. I think he'll get back up. Yeah, he's back up. It didn't look too bad, but I did hear what Gio was saying in the. Did hear what Gio was saying a little bit at the beginning of the build-up before I ran off and then subsequently got injured. The idea of, you know, this is probably the back 5 he wants to go with against Frankfurt, and this is the test, right? Which is concerning for a bunch of reasons. But realistically, I understand the logic, and we do not need any injuries in that case. I'm disappointed we haven't gone with Elise. I'm disappointed for a bunch of different reasons, but you know, if this is the side he's going for, if this is what, or at least if this is the 5 he's going for at the back, then the worst thing we need, even though none of us would, even though I think very, very few of us would want Masuaku to start, would want that to be the case. But still, would want him to be injured. But still. Good to see you, Wally. Hope you're well. I need something, mate. I need something. Anything at this point. Good to see you, Ryan. I'm in a lot of pain, bro. I'm in a lot of pain, but yeah. Played in. Good header away from Craig Dawson there. You need regular osteopathy. Danny qualified. No, we can get him qualified. I'll get him on it. Kante hits it wide. Just drags that one wide. Chelsea getting the opportunities. Again, we're starting this very, very, very deep. Unsurprisingly, we're starting this as deep as humanly possible. And Chelsea are making the most of it. Loftus-Cheek does well there. Just comes in, nips it in off the feet of Masuaku. Lays it short to Kante, who with his weak foot just drags it wide, nowhere close. But yeah, it happens. It happens. Yeah, we're starting this incredibly deep. We've not really seemingly dared to go forward at all in any way, shape, or form right now. And right now it seems to be just all Chelsea. They seem to just be sat, just camped inside our box, trying to find their way through. But the defiant defense is holding out well so far. They're getting shots, but none of them particularly accurate. Well, you frame us from this match. Yep, Idaho for me. Jeff, where are you at? I hope you're well. Hope you're good. North Idaho for me, as is the way whenever it's on Sky Sports, 10% of game gone. We're still in it. Love that, Major. Love that. I would, but the fridge is broken. So everything's gone wrong at once. You know what it's like. Yarmolenko lays it in now to Mark Noble at the center circle, finding it out wide to Ben Rama, trying to work their way forward, getting actual numbers forward for the first time. Masuaku, he puts in a decent ball. Ben Rama was arriving, but Thiago does surprisingly well, and Mendy collects it. And Azpilicueta has one shoe on. Love to see it. It's actually not a bad ball in from Arthur Masuaku. He put it into a dangerous position, but without any sort of recognised striker. I mean, not even Yarmolenko's playing sort of centrally right now. Putting in those balls is going to be somewhat pointless, but we'll see how that ends up working out. But it was actually a pretty good ball in, if we're being honest about it. A pretty good ball in. He tries to get it in, and Thiago Silva with the ball in just ends up just getting a foot onto it, and it just plumes up into the air, and Mendy collects it. But yeah, Azpilicueta has gone off the pitch. He has no shoes on. So God knows what's going on now. God knows what's going on now. So an anti-advert for these boots. Yeah, he's just, who needs him? Who needs him? Do you know what I mean? Not Arthur Masuaku, not Azpilicueta, I'll tell you no much. Trini, good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're all good. West Ham trying to work their way forward. And again, yeah, it's again, I was expecting a sort of, I mean, just straight up, I was expecting Yarmolenko in a central position, right? That's what I felt like was going to be the case. Yarmolenko in a central position, trying to make his way forward, trying to find anything, trying to just figure that out. But right now, it seems to be a free. None of them particularly far forward, although they're not deep. And Yarmolenko's out on the right, Fornals in the middle, and Ben Rama on the left. So we'll see how that plays out. Oh, just awkward bounce there for Chalobah, and booted up clear from Chelsea just to get it away. But they've come away with the ball well. It's laid into Werner, who Ben Johnson just scrambling it away. That was very close. That was very close. I think we've got a free kick in the build up to it. That was incredibly close. The ball comes into Timo Werner there. And it's just a little bit awkward between him and Johnson just spinning around and battling for it. Kufau comes in and gets it. And somehow we've got a free kick now. I'm not really sure how. I can't lie to you. I'm not really sure how, but it's happened. And we'll take that. It's happened and we will take that. Anyway. All right. What else are we saying? Good to see you, Jeffrey. Hope you're well, bro. Hope things are all good in the US. I'm having a bad day. Jake, if they're still not in there, Footy Pass is the best place to look. IMO. You'll find what you're looking for very quickly on there. But yeah, there's plenty of places. Make sure VPN, ad blocker before you do anything like that. But Footy Pass. I'm surprised by the formation change. I think was necessary, was forced. We didn't really have many options there, but I'm surprised. Like we could talk about Declan Rice. I'm more surprised that he rested Antonio. He seemed to be intent on playing him every second of every game. So I'm pretty surprised that we haven't seen him. I don't know. I just would have expected it to happen. Who knows? Ball over the top, straight into the hands of Lucas Fabianski. Do you know what? We're dealing with it. They are definitely the better team. They're definitely all over us. All over us. We can't really get forward in any way, shape, or form. Fabianski's Ball outwards to Malcolm Aswak was awful there. To Cresswell there was awful and straight out for a throw. We're not posing any sort of threat to Chelsea, but we're defending relatively okay. They're completely on top of us. They are the better of the two teams by a significant margin, but you know, it is what it is. Aspilicueta picks it out on the left-hand side, laying it short to Alonso. Masuaku comes out. He comes out and tries to be a bit proactive there. It does end up going down for a foul, but I respect him for giving it a shot. I respect him for giving it a shot. That was not good. That was not good. I can respect it. 50% of the game gone. We're still in it. Yes, major. Loving the vibes. Werner. Ooh, save from Fabianski. Werner just tries to... I can't tell if it was a shot or a cross. I'm not really sure which way Havertz was there. Werner picks it up wide on the left-hand side, takes it onto a strong. I think it was a cross. It was more sort of dinked in than a shot. Fabianski just collects it, but Havertz was hovering. Havertz was hovering. Alonso and Kufal coming together there. I think we've won a free kick there somehow. Not sure, but still. Fornals to play in from the left-hand side, takes it short. Noble into Kufal, back to Noble. West Ham trying to work their way down the right-hand side, but again, the first instance of any sort of pressure, we pass it all the way back to our makeshift centre backs. Nice little cheeky back heel from Mark Noble there. Soufal with a poor pass, just Chelsea just completely just cover all of the passing angles, instantly win the ball back. Mason Mount trying to find a bit of space forward. The underlap from Loftus-Cheek has been found. West Ham do well defensively just to get this out. This is going to be a long and difficult game. There is a lot of Chelsea players just in and around, just making it as annoying as possible. Look, it's possible. We've done it before. We could do it again. Let's not act like it. Let's not act like let's not act like we haven't. We've done it before. We've been in this position before. You know, again, when Moyes first came back, we were playing this exact formation. And we were probably this defensive as well against a lot of the bigger teams, and we pulled out a lot of decent results in those sort of games against them. Oh, it's well done by Pat. Saïd Benrahma does really well there to come in and nick the ball off Aspilicueta. It's just no one. Again, that's the problem with just how defensive we are right now. He gets into a good position to maybe hit a pullback, maybe do something with it from a little mistake from Aspilicueta. It was just a little bit too sad, but there's just no one even remotely close to Benrahma. He spends seconds in the box before everyone even catches up to him. It's a struggle. Judas, my trustworthy friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Oh, there's another mistake. We're in again. Chalobah manages to come back and win. I tell you what, Chalobah does really well that time. Just loses out the ball again to Saïd Benrahma, who's looking really proactive in the pressing. Just nips it off him, tries to get in there, but Chalobah does a lot better to recover that time than Aspilicueta did. But now Chelsea come flying forward, and it's a good block. Good block by Dawson from Havertz, and it's gone out for a Chelsea corner. My trustworthy friend, I hope you're well. Chalobah again, just being awkward in possession. Saïd Benrahma picks up the ball. Chalobah does really well. Big, powerful, fast player, just gets in the way of Saïd Benrahma there very quickly. I don't even know if we're being too cute, Phil, to be honest with you. I just don't think we have enough people. It's the way it goes, isn't it? It's the way it goes. Whipped in, headed away from West Ham. There's been a clash of heads between Thiago and I want to say Suchek. It was headed away strongly. So we'll take that. But Peach coming in with a 5-1. Peach, I respect it, bro. Even if I don't believe I respect it. It was whipped in there. The corner was whipped in, looking for Thiago, just approaching the sort of centre circle. A clash of heads between him and Souček, who stayed down. Thiago's got back up and he's walking about pretty normally again. He seems fine. But Souček has 2 medics on him right now. Although he seems to be up. He seems to be moving a little bit more normally now. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's taken punishment. Well, listen, he's doing his thing, bro. He's doing his thing. There's no stress from him, you know what I mean? No stress from him. He could take that and he gets up and he goes, no. Although he did seem in somewhat pain. I think it was the back of his head. That got hit. Whereas Thiago's, I believe, was the front. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. We'll see. I think that's what happened, but still. So Silva and Souček starting this passage off the pitch. Big boot forward looking for Yarmolenko again. It was just a bit pointless, but Fornals does well to rise up and win that one. And West Ham have the ball in a decent enough position. Souček with the ball, lays it out wide to Pablo Fornals. He's got Masuaku on the left, who tries to put it in first time towards Benrahma, which I'll take. And we've got a corner. And this is where we can damage them. We don't have as many of our big boys in there as usual. We're missing a lot of our big boys, but you're still looking at Souček. You're still looking at Dawson. These are gentlemen known for their heading ability, and we'll take that. Pablo Fornals is going to be the one to take it. We've taken it short, whipped into an awkward position for Chelsea, and they've headed it away well. It wasn't actually bad. Don't know why we took it short, but it ended up working out in our favour. Still. It's played in. It was Souček who was looking for it. It was headed away well by Lucas. I was about to say Lucas Brevitt. That's Loftus-Cheek. I don't know how I got Lucas by Loftus-Cheek. Lucas Brevitt. It wasn't even his name. His name was Rufus. Anyway, Russell's where is he? A little bit of Primark. I can respect that. TMC history. Mate, imagine. Don't tempt me. Ugh. Played short now. Chelsea trying to pass the ball around. Lofted out to that right hand side. They switch play faster than us, and they support the switch faster than us as well. It's one of the things we need to get better at. We've been okay the last 2 games for it, to be honest with you, but in general, we need to get better at that. Masuaku just sort of booting it clear with no real rhyme or reason to it. Marcos Alonso picks up the ball on the left-hand side off the pass from Werner, whips it in. Oh, flipping heck, scary. Aaron Cresswell's touch into the path of Craig Dawson, who just pumps it clear. I'll tell you what a turnaround for Craig Dawson, by the way. From how the vast majority of West Ham fans felt, let's say, when we signed him, to what he's as now as being the guy just standing as solid as possible. Incredible work. Werner trying to work his way into the box now for Chelsea. That's a good tackle from Mark Noble, and it's lofted clear, looking for Yarmolenko, who up against Azpilicueta. Thankfully, Azpilicueta is the one on this left-hand side for Chelsea, because to be honest with you, Yarmolenko could probably beat him for pace. Yarmolenko does well to wobble his way in, finds Ben Ramos. Can't quite get that first touch. It was a nice idea. The overlap was there. He could have maybe gone for the overlap. Instead, he takes it inwards, lays a nice pass in, maybe one touch in, and then we would have maybe been in for a shot there. Not bad. Chelsea are committing quite heavily to their attack, and that's something we need to be taking advantage of potentially, especially down that left hand side. All right. I know. Look, Yarmolenko's not the fastest guy in the world, but to be honest with you, I think he can take on Azpilicueta. not that Azpilicueta is particularly that slow, but he's just not that fast. And I think in a 1v1 battle, Azpilicueta playing left back is going to have a lot more to think about than Yarmolenko, who's just going to listen. We know what he's going to do. He's going to shape it onto his left foot and shoot. But I think that's something we could potentially be looking at. Nice 1-2 from Chelsea though to Alonso, who tries to whip it in. They're looking very heavily down the wings. Chelsea so far today. They're hitting a lot of 1-2s in and around the corner quadrants and putting in first time crosses, putting in lots of balls. None of them really looking that difficult. Most games I'd be pretty confident when people doing that, but of course we only have Craig Dawson at the back. That should be enough. It's Craig Dawson, but difficult. It's going to be a throw into Chelsea though. Down this left-hand side, Alonso to take. Short to Kante, and then Alonso just hooks it clear. Good interception from Thomas Souček, and West Ham with some nice one-touch passing, just getting their way out of trouble. Yarmolenko with the pass intercepts, but instantly wins it back, and Pablo Fornals trying to flick it on. Tell you what, fair play. Look, we're trying it. There's like no one in attacking positions whatsoever. We have 3 people who are vaguely attacking, and that being Benrahma, Fornals, and Yarmolenko. And Chelsea have sort of kept it away from Benrahma relatively well. He's nipped it twice and created 2 good opportunities, but you would imagine if he was to get another opportunity, that would be good. But realistically, they've done okay in that sense. We keep trying to go down this right-hand side. It's not working. There's just not enough people going forward. We don't usually have enough people going forward anyway, but today specifically, it's an issue. It's an issue. When he stops his ankle shot, yeah, it's like you got back. You've got to pick and choose the times to go pacey, right? I've noticed as well. To be fair, from a distance, they look quite similar. I know Gonzo's had that issue as well before. To be fair, I have as well. I can't act like I haven't. Ouch. Chelsea trying to work their way into the box here. Hit from range from Mounts, who was always falling. We'll take that all day. It's fun. Me. Pleased with the performance so far. Long way to go, but good shape at the back. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think defensively we're doing well. And we're just trying to hit him on the counter. And that's so far. I mean, look, 0-0, 26 minutes. We'll take that. You know what I mean? Given how bad Given the formation, given the personnel, given the injuries we've got, given the game, we'll take that. We'll take that. It's certainly what we're looking at right now. And the ball forward and Said Benrahma is doing really well to harry Kante there into making a mistake and West Ham win the ball back. It's going to be a throw-in. To be fair, done well there. I agree with you, Christopher, to some extent. I can't lie to you. I do agree with you. Defend well and score a goal from set piece. Plan 101. Pretty much. And we're doing it decently. Straight predictions 28, 30, 32. First goal by West Ham. Bloody hell, mate. Be a big game. Be a big 4 minutes. All-time favourite West Ham home and away kit. Ooh. It's a great question. Away is, I don't remember what year it is because I'm not good with years, but it's the one where it's light blue and has the 2 claret stripes across the middle. Love that one. That's like Charlie 101. Home kit. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Maybe last season at Bowling. It's classic. It's really nice. Do you know what I mean? Oh, nice touch. First time in by Alonso, trying to find a way into the box, but Ben Johnson just runs that one out. He's doing decent. He's doing decent enough. A little bit shaky at the beginning. I was a bit concerned about how he looked like he was looking left and right a lot, trying to figure out his positioning. And it's a baptism by fire for Ben Johnson. But yeah, doing well. What's everyone else's favorite home and away kit, by the way? I'm intrigued. 95, 96 home. Yeah, okay, I can respect that. Black fur kit last season, banger. Favorite home kit was 2016 kit, which was what is in the last season at Bowling or the first season at London Stadium? The black pajama kit from last season, but it was very nice. I didn't like the size of the badge though. I got used to it, but it was something. You know what I mean? I'm not sure either, so I hope you figured it out. Chelsea tried to work their way forward. Every single West Ham player behind the ball. Chelsea are in her half, and all 11 players are back, holding true. Like I say, it's going to be a long day, a long game. Laid out wide. Oh, that's nicely done by Loftus-Cheek. And then the Havertz just can't quite get the control. And then Aspilicueta went for the shot just outside the area. That shows you how high up Chelsea are, by the way. Their left back is in the D taking shots. Pumped clear. Chelsea literally have 2 centre-backs back. And it seems like more than enough. That's how defensive we are right now. But Havertz there, if he had a little bit of a better first touch, maybe could have made West Ham pay for it. But they come away with it. They come away with Chelsea. They're in the centre circle trying to work their way forward now. Working it down the right-hand side. Ruben Loftus-Cheek with an awkward control there. I was going to say awful, but that's a bit harsh. Awkward. Jorginho. Alonso trying to just lay it in. Can't quite find it. 99. Is that what it was? Is it 99? That sounds about right. I mean, or it could just be the 99 kit. I need to pull up all the kits. I just want to have a look at them now. The worst thing is I was looking at them like literally 2 days ago, but I don't remember those sort of details. Last season, Dagenham Motors home kit. Yeah, I can respect that. Black and gold was the best one of the recent shirts. Again, it's just the badge that was my only issue. Apart from that, I was here for it. One of my favorites was the worst was the away kit. And I said, how can I not remember that? Again, I need to find out. Havertz trying to work his way in. Just Ben Johnson just a touch on it, but Mount does well. But I tell you what, Mark Noble does better. Mount seemed to do well there to try and take it round Noble, but he just reaches his foot in, just pulls it away. Says no. Mourinho style, Black and Decker. You know what I mean? Shout out. What moment that was. Out tacticked him. Yes, let's go. We'll take that all day. I don't know. Was it Timmel? I'm not sure. My gut says no. All ball into the box and it's collected by Fabianski. Havertz just playing the ball in. Couldn't quite find it. That's a scratch. Ow. Oh, this. Yes. Was that the one with Sega on it or Dreamcast? Either way, banger. Sega. P-Gads, excellent shout. Did you have a Dreamcast, more importantly? Did you have a Dreamcast? Did you play Crazy Taxi? Yeah. Sorry, this is now a gaming stream, everyone. I'm going to talk about Crazy Taxi and Sega games in the Dreamcast for the next 45 minutes. Played in. Blanco hits it. Well wide. It's one of the few chances we've had. They worked the ball well. Maybe just onside Yarmolenko, I'm not sure. But the ball over the top was a nice idea, but he has to turn around and hit it. Pablo Fornals, it's a really nice idea. It would have taken a lot from Yarmolenko to do it from there, to be fair. Kante striding forward with the ball. Got Alonso on the overlap. Got Werner in there as well. Werner with the ball. Tries to lay it short to Kante. Does well. Back to Werner. West Ham are literally inside. Chelsea are literally inside the area there. Kante shoots. Blocked by Noble. Loftus-Cheek has the ball. Chelsea were just stood inside our area there. Chalobah with the ball now down the left-hand side. Down the right-hand side. Tries to whip it in, but just hooked away from Big Craig. Thiago trying to come forward, and now this is a good opportunity to break. Pablo Fornals pings it. He's looking for Said Benrahma, but Mendy comes in and deals with that well. And Pablo Fornals is down. Oh, right. There we go. If Okaflex can't get a game, then you have to start thinking he's not going to make it. I think there's a lot of questions about a lot of youth players that need to be answered. That needs to be asked to Alex, and I'm not sure what the answer is. You can make it the player themselves. You can make it Moyes. You can make it the U team setup. You can make it West Ham structure. There's a lot of questions to be asked, and I don't know what the answers are. Because Elise, for example, is the one today. He's on the bench, so why is he not starting? Who knows? Who knows? My favorite kit was the 2001-2002. Shout out to Canio. You good? No, I'm in a lot of pain. I had all the Segas, even the Saturn. My goodness, P-Gads. P-Gads holding it down for Sega. I respect it. That really hurt. I respect it. My first console ever was the Sega Master System 2. It was the first console I played. The first one I owned was a PlayStation 1. But a Sega Master System 2 was the first one I played. My nan had it. So you're talking Alex Kidd. You're talking Sonic was the first game. Alex Kidd was the first game I ever played. Sonic. You're talking, there was some things going on, Even the Saturn. My God. What's your favorite Sega game? Let's go there. Again, I'm saying Crazy Taxi because it just bangs, but it's mainly because I'm thinking about Crazy Taxi because the rumors they might be bringing it back. I don't know. Stuff to happen. Anyway, free kick by West Ham on the right-hand side is a good opportunity. Whip it in, get big boys on it. Poor cross from Kufal. Ignore everything I just said. Cresswell collects it. Masuaku, West Ham instantly forced backwards in their passing, but Johnson with a nice ball forward, to be fair. Yarmolenko out wide to Sufal. Maybe a second opportunity to get across. Never have him take a free kick again because that one was poor, but playing it into the path of Yarmolenko. Short to Noble. Back out wide. Whipped in Ben Rama. So it wasn't a bad ball in there from Ben Rama. Puts it in towards Souček, and him and Chalobah just connecting. And went down. So good ball in. Looking for good, just better cross than I'm used to seeing from him. I don't really think Ben Rama was that good at crossing, but it was a nice, powerful ball in. If someone gets their head on that, you got a big play coming in. But Four shots from Chelsea, 3 from West Ham, none on target for either team. It's the kind of match we're seeing here. But Kufal gets caught out there. This is a great opportunity for Chelsea and just defended well. Ben Johnson doing well. I'll tell you what, he's doing decent today. He's doing decent. Just focus on Danny Brogo. Rest for the I'm considering it. I think Gio's found someone. So in the second half, you'll probably be with someone else, I think. So make sure to stick around, give them all the love and support they need, because my God. But Gio will be back at half time, 10 minutes, and then we'll figure out what's going to happen from there. In Wonderland or Miracle World, I'm not sure, whichever one was pre-installed. One of them was pre-installed on the Sega Master System 2. I want to say it was Miracle World, but I might be wrong. I can't remember. It was one of them, though. Street Fighter 2, banger, Dave, if we're being honest. Whipped in. Havertz gets his head onto it. No one even close to it. Masuaku's headed down. Lands at Kante. For a moment there, it looked like he could have taken an exquisite shot, but instead, he's passed it into the path of Mount. Loftus-Cheek tries to just drive it across and can't make it work. Alex Kidd it was very hard. Chris Saxon, it is. I think I have it on Steam. I'm not sure. I still have my Dreamcast, so I have a Dreamcast with Crazy Taxi. It's at home. I want to go back and grab it. It's at my mum's. It's packed away at my mum's, but I want to go get it with all of my Dreamcast games. I have a lot. Neo Geo. 4 bright buttons and 2 joysticks. Pablo Fornals is in a lot of pain right now. You can hear him screaming. It's bad. Something is bad right now. Hopefully he's okay. The ball got played into him from Souček. It was just Thiago Silva comes into him from behind. It was a foul. I don't know if he's going to be too injured from it. I hope not, for obvious reasons. Old school Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Jet Set Radio, P has Jet Set Radio. What an outrageous shout from you, P. That's a huge call. Of course. Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, bangers, of course. I'm hearing Rise from Your Grave. Mate, Jet Set Radio, though. Outrageously good soundtrack. Hideki Naganuma just coming through with the big plays. Big plays. Mate, let's just talk about games. Who needs football? Chelsea coming forward. Is Kante on the ball? He's been pretty central to most of their attacks today, and he's played it out now wide. Havertz is on the right. He's got Ruben Loftus-Cheek just on the inside of him, and Havertz just runs it out. Just Cresswell just gives him the option of running out of space, and he takes it. He tries to go down this right-hand side, a couple of step overs, trying to make it happen, and Cresswell just shepherds him off the pitch. 5 minutes left, plus stoppage time, and I can't lie, I'll take it. Has it been exciting? No. Does it look like we're going to score? Not really. Will I take this? 100%. 100%. No, Major, I would not. I would not. I fancy our chances regardless of trying to favour that. So no, I'm good. Yes, it's the one I had. Whichever one it was. I still have the Master System at home, so it's whichever one was like pre-installed, so that when you didn't have a game in and you turned it on, it would just play it. Don't remember which way around it was though. Crazy Taxi Remix, bad about the OG soundtrack. Yes, this is what I have it, I think, on Steam, but I haven't tried it. I probably have tried it and been like, where's the original soundtrack? But the original soundtrack is very important. And they're talking about like making this new one now, and I'm like, is it the same without the Offspring? All I Want, blasting out. Hey, time for some Creed. I don't know if it is, I don't know if it is. If you put one of my messages on the screen, I'll sub to you forever. Well, there you go, Best Bros Gaming. Sub please. Sub please. Chelsea trying to work their way forward now. Down the right-hand side again. They keep getting into these corner positions. They're not really doing what's most dangerous against us, or they have here, which is working into the central position of Havertz, but it's just nicely cut up by Soufal. Pablo Fornals trying to play it out to Arthur Masuaku, who can't quite find him. If anything, Pablo Fornals is sort of dropping the deepest of the three, getting into sort of more central positions, and Yarmolenko and Benrahma are tending to stay forward on the sort of wide right and wide left positions. So if you're looking at it, you can maybe make an argument for it being like a sort of 5-2-1-2 type thing. And still, but we're dealing with it relatively well. They keep coming into these positions, Chelsea, where they're in a good position to get in crosses from the corner quadrants, right? They're finding a lot of success there because, frankly, we're letting them have all the success there. We're giving them all of the time and space in those positions they could possibly ever want or need. Whipped in by Kante here. Fabianski collects it well. We're happy to let them have that in those positions, which is, it's by design. But they aren't getting into the positions where they and other teams would be most dangerous against us, which is in and around the central column. If you can get sort of in decent positions there, then we are in all kinds of trouble. That, alternatively, or get to the byline and put it back. And they're not really doing either of it right now, Chelsea. They're not really doing either of it right now. Thiago Silva there with another foul on Yarmolenko. He's strong against it. Every chore that my brother and I were given was resolved by playing a team battle of Street Fighter 2 EX plus Alpha. Big. Consequently, we've got good at that. Was that the 3D one? Is that the 3D one? No, I'm thinking of something else. That wasn't Dreamcast, wasn't it? Was it? I'm baffed. For some reason, my brain, I can see it on a Dreamcast, and I don't know why. What controller, by the way? The Ting and the VMU? Let's go. Robocods, James Pond. Jeff, huge shout from you. Love that. West Ham with a free kick on the left-hand side. whipped in to sort of no one getting close to that one, but headed back across to Dawson, who was hovering around the back post, but you couldn't really get it near enough to him. And hover back just wasn't. You know, it was Alex Kidd Miracle. Thank you. I thought it was, but I wasn't entirely certain. I got excited when the snake left my screen on the Nokia 3310. It was a big moment in life when it went like that, and then it was like, what a moment in life that was. The game was officially changed nowadays. Oh, Donkey Kong Country. Another outrageously good soundtrack. Do do do. Do 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 do. What a soundtrack that is, by the way. I had that originally on the Game Boy. Chelsea trying to get the ball in again. They're doing the same thing. They're getting into these corner quadrants and trying to just find space. There's nothing to be done. Get to the byline, pull it back against West Ham. That's where our weaknesses are. That, or find your way to work it in towards the D. Either way, do one of those two things, and they're not. They're finding out. We're doing really well. We're defending really well right now. Road rash with bikes and change. Yes, Power Stone. Oh my god, we're getting all of the classics out right now, ladies and gentlemen. I used to go to my friend's house to play Power Stone. I was awful at it. Masuaku's going to come away with the ball here. Lays it short. Looking for Pablo Fornals. Can't quite find him. Jorginho. Mount. Loftus-Cheek headed away from Craig Dawson there. And Masuaku just trying to stop it from a corner. And he does. I think he manages and stops, gets out for throw. We'll take that. Good work, Masuaku. We'll respect it. Oh, Hang On. Yes. I had Hang On as well. Sonic the Hedgehog classic. Never played Snail Maze. Don't know anything about it. Good to see you, Todd. Hope you're all well hope you're all well in Boston, Mass. I hope it's treating you well, bro. Hope it's treating you well. How do we all feel about the game so far? How are we all feeling about the game so far? We're about to hit half time here. 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're about to hit half time. Geo will be here in a moment to talk about it more in depth. And I can't lie. I think defensively we're doing all right. I'm feeling pretty good right now. How do we all feel though? Aquatic Ambits, literally listen to that still. I do as well. Wow, wow, wow. This is going to be an awful rendition of it, and I appreciate it might ruin it for you forever, but wow, 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 wow. Best Bros is now on a different account. That is my dad. Yeah, my dad is Hollywood actor Danny DeVito. He's my dad. Don't know how I got height because I'm 6 foot and he evidently is not. This is life size, but you know, we move. It's my daddy. Do I regret saying daddy? Maybe. A minute and a bit to go. I can't lie, I'm kind of happy with it. Destruction Derby, yes. I think Destruction Derby was the first, like, was it? No, I'm gonna back out on that one. Destruction Derby bang though. PS1, I had it on PS1. Big boy game. That's my mum's jeans. Fair. She is tall for a lady. You know, she's 5 something. Don't know. 5'10", something like that. I don't know. And this half, I'll tell you what, is the fact that Chelsea have been so subdued and Stamford Bridge is so subdued says a lot about how good we've been. I can't lie to you. It says a lot about how well we've just snuffed this game out. We've not been that good going forward. In fact, I would say we're actively pretty poor at it. But realistically, I'm pretty happy with this. Jorginho trying to whip it and head it away. I'm pretty happy with this. You know, it's worked out for us. Defensively, we've been pretty flipping good. Laid short, Noble picks up the ball, tries to play it forward, can't. And there is the halftime. Halftime whistle goes. It is Chelsea 0, West Ham United 0. And I genuinely, given the formation, given everything like that, I mean, it's I'm not going to say I'm shocked. But I think it's worked out for us. I think defensively we've been pretty flipping good. I've been pretty flipping good. Or we have, sorry. I think we've stopped them in a strong manner. I think they haven't really got into positions that have threatened us. They keep getting to the corner quadrants and trying to whip the crosses in, and it's not really happening for them. It's not really happening for them. I'm pretty happy with that. I can't lie to you. I'm pretty happy with that. Going forward, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. But outside of that, I'll take everything we've just seen quite happily. If you told me we would win it, if you told me we would draw this game 0-0, then yes, please. But in that situation, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'll take that. But how do you feel? I think moving forward, Marble Madness, another banger. For the Master System 2. I think moving forward, that's something we need to look at. Because we haven't been anywhere near good enough. In those areas. We haven't really made it happen for us. Going forward, we haven't been anywhere near good enough. I think that's an easy thing to say. We've been defensively pretty good, but going forward, we haven't really managed to make that work. We haven't committed really significant numbers forward. I think it's very clear where we've come to do today. We've come today to defend. We've come today to get a 0-0, and you can't blame David Moyes for that in any way, shape, or form. If we're being honest about it, you can't. It is what it is. In the words of the meme, it is what it is. It's just it's one of those situations where we haven't really got enough numbers for to commit in any significant way or shape or form. And so you come there and you say that's where we're sort of at. But Geo Mackie, how do you feel about the game?
Yeah, I'm good. Go on, off you get, Mr. Walsh. You get yourself off. Thank you very much. And
subscribe, everyone. Like the video, all of that good stuff. I'll send the link to him now, Joe. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Yes, I'm very happy with that first half, actually. I'm really happy with it. If you said to me at the start of the game, it'll be half-time, be 0-0, I'd bit your hand off for it. I think we've played well. I think everybody's doing their job. I think they're keeping their shape well. Everyone's working really hard for each other. If we can do this for another 10-15 minutes after the restart, it gives Moyes the opportunity it gives Moyes the option, at least, to bring on the big hitters and try and get the win, which would be ridiculous, really. But I'm really happy with how we played in the first half, to be honest with you. It's a lot of graft going in there from everybody. Nobody's made any errors. Nobody's having a bad game. We're slowing the game down a lot. I think the front three are winning fouls inside Chelsea's half regularly. I think Michael Oliver's doing us a bit of a solid, actually. Vanals, Ben Rama, Yarmolenko, they're all looking to get a bit of contact by the centre-backs. They're going down to get the free kicks, and we're taking our time to move up the pitch. Really impressed by us in that first half. Anyway, I'm now going to see what you're all saying in live chat, so get your comments into live chat, and let's see what you're all saying, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what you're all saying. Raja says, defensively, we've been solid. Hammer Legend says, fingers crossed Chelsea come out and they're still lethargic in the second half. They're bad, aren't they? They're really, really bad, Chelsea. But at the same time, let's not take anything away from us. We're making it difficult for them, I think. So happy days. And Val saying, won't understand criticism. Our first team lost to Brentford and drew against Burnley. This team's keeping pressure and had a couple of half chances. I agree. I don't think, to be fair, I'm not seeing anyone. I've only just joined though, but I'm not seeing any criticism as yet. George asking why Silva hasn't been booked. I've actually just backed Silva to get booked. Thiago Silva 7-1 to get a yellow card so far. 7-1 on Bet365. I've just had a bit of money on that because he's got to be one foul away. Also, I'm sort of playing the fact that I think Antonio and or Bowen will come on and impact the game even more. Silva's struggling with Yarmolenko as it is. Doug's happy. Thinks we look comfortable. 10 out of 10 says ours. David Moyes tactical masterclass. Why this would take Benrahma off? Effectively non-existent. See, I think Masuaku. I could have seen someone else's. I will click on this one for fairness. Fuzzy says Masuaku's having a great game. I think he is actually. In fairness, I criticise him a lot. I'm not Masuaku's biggest fan, but I think he's had a strong 45 minutes there. Back to the Benrahma thing. 2 occasions the defenders sort of let him in, didn't they? And both times he was just didn't quite do it, did he? The first one, second one, he got closed down very quickly. He nicked off Chalobah, got closed down really quickly. The first one, though, when he sort of stopped Azpilicueta doing the back pass, he just ran. He should have slowed it down. He could have turned around. There was a few things he could have done. Instead, he just sort of ran until he got to the goal line, put into the 6-yarder. But he was 10, 15 yards ahead of everyone. Yarmolenko and Fornals were never going to get there in time, which is a little bit frustrating. But apart from that, I think he's doing okay. I don't think he's having a bad game with that. I think he's working hard. He's in the right positions at times. He's helping pressure in and around the halfway line, which is important. So I think he's doing okay. Prod thinks Yarmolenko's working hard, and Danny thinks Souček's having a good game. Paul says no shot on target for Chelsea, so job done. I wanted to see how we would defend, and the answer is brilliantly. Johnson man of match so far. There was one point that Ben Johnson did. The ball came in. I think Havertz went up for a header. Just sort of nudged him a little bit, allowed it to bounce, and Fabianski could gather it. Playing really well, Ben Johnson. Connor saying the transition from defence to attack is off. Everything else seems decent. It's difficult, though, I think, when you've got Yarmolenko, Fornals, and Benrahma up front. Now, I'm not trying to discredit them because I think they're all working hard. I think they're playing decent. It's not quite Bowen and Antonio, is it? It's going to be difficult against this Chelsea team. And we've got a slow centre midfield as well, so it is hard. But I agree. I think everything else is decent. Major says get Bowen, Rice, and Antonio on if 0-0, 15 minutes left. I'd get them on sooner. I think around the hour mark. I think that would be my magic number. If we could get to the hour mark and it was 0-0, I think I'd certainly make one change. Get Jared Bowen on probably for one of the front three just to have a little bit of spice up front. Aman Veer says that Masuaku and Yarmolenko's playing decent, while Jordan says Masuaku's putting some decent tackles. While Phil thinks that, Phil Jones thinks that Benrahma looks energetic. Kiriakos says, do you remember when Jorginho was voted third best player at Ballon d'Or? He's not even Chelsea's third best midfielder. Well, Ryan thinks we're going to steal it. Second team or not, we're up for it, and Chelsea are making so many mistakes. Mike's very happy with that half. We've got the bench to make a difference, and Webley's praising Michael Oliver. Good referee. He's the best referee in the Premier League, isn't he, Michael Oliver? I want to say factually. It's hard, really. It's an opinion, but I guess he is factually, because whenever England have to send their referees to the Champions League and so on, he's one of the two, Martin Atkinson being the other one. So he is rated as the number one referee in England, I guess, by the FA as well as the fans. Tim says, Fornals putting in a great shift. Dawson solid as a rock. While Sam thinks Benrahma's getting nudged off the ball a bit too easy. While Stephen says, better control the ball. We could have some decent chances up front. Greg says, Fornals not been at it at all. Can't fault the lads' effort. Yarmolenko looking good as well as Benrahma. Jeff says, Moisey doing well so far with tactics. So far, so good. Hopefully it sticks the second half and nick a win. Mikey says we're defending well. Keep it solid. If it stays like this, bring on Bowen or Antonio and we could get a great result. Right, let's bring in Mr. Irish. Tommy, how you doing?
Good, Geo. I'm encouraged.
Oh, it's just froze there for me, Tommy. I don't know if me or you's frozen. One of us is frozen. Let me just get you out there for a second. I'll get you back in a second. Hopefully it's you that's frozen and everybody can still hear me. Anyway, Michael says it's nice to have options on the bench for a change. Okay, I can see Tommy moving about again. You good?
Oh, you got me? Yeah, it possibly was me, yeah, because I'm obviously running the No TV as well, and my daughter Cassidy's in the bedroom streaming some movie, so maybe it's me. But hopefully it'll be okay.
What do you make of the first half?
Very encouraged, I have to say. Chelsea looked flat. They seem to be struggling to find ways to break us down. They don't look like they have too many ideas, and we're defending actually quite comfortably, which is really good to see. And hopefully that will continue into the second half. And I think we've had a couple of encouraging signs going the other way too. They do still look shaky at the back, particularly I thought Chalobah and Azpilicueta look really shaky. If we can get down the sides, we can definitely get at both of those. And we've gotten into a couple of really promising positions. Unfortunately, we haven't really tested Mendy, but definitely a lot of encouraging signs in that first half. And despite our weakened side, there seems to be a real chance we can actually get something from this game.
Right, Tommy, I'm going to leave you be. You're in charge for the second half. Enjoy it, and good luck.
Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, I don't know if I can even see the chat. Let's click on comments. There we go. So I'll keep them coming. Now, I am watching this, so you all know, on Now TV. So I probably am a little bit behind some of you. I think Now TV is like a couple of minutes back. Reese Peter, thank you. Couldn't agree more. Oh, is there echo? Let me know in the chat, please, if there's still an echo. Hopefully with Geo gone now, it's not there anymore. Yeah, the worry here, actually, Alex, you're just saying there about Lukaku always scores against us. Thankfully, he's on the bench. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes on for the second half, because Chelsea are putting a lot of crosses in. And at the moment, there's nobody in there really that can challenge us in the air. So it could happen that Lukaku could come on, if not immediately for the second half. We could see him in the 65th minute. So that would be more of a worry. D.A. Crossman, hi Tommy, what made you support West Ham? I spent some of my childhood in the East End of London. So from when I was 9 to about 17 years old, I was actually in the East End of London. I lived in Forest Gate, lived in East Ham, lived in Manor Park, went to school there, obviously, secondary school, St. Bon's. So West Ham were the local club. So I started going to games with friends that I made over there. So yeah, I've been passionate West Ham ever since. I came back home to Ireland when I was 17, but my passion for West Ham has remained. So yeah, Adam Wilshire, yeah, I think that's possible too. Set pieces look like they could be a good route for us. We had a couple of set pieces. I don't know why. Why did Sofel take the first one out on the right hand side? We had a really good position, and I'm thinking this is perfect for Cresswell to, whip one of those in swingers in towards the far post, causing problems. But for some reason, Sofel took it and hit the first defender. It was really frustrating. But yeah, we're always going to be dangerous from set pieces. So I'm still waiting for the second half. I don't know if you guys have kicked off yet or not, but it's just past the hour mark now, 2 minutes past 3. But hopefully we'll be up and underway here. But let me know what you guys thought about that first half. I thought that was really encouraging. I think we're defending relatively comfortably. Chelsea don't look like they've got too many ideas on how to break us down. They've been quite flat. So I thought this might be a very long afternoon for us. But it's not really turning out that way. I think David Moyes is definitely going to be much the happier of the two managers at half time. So fingers crossed we can keep this going, and if we can keep a clean sheet here, that would be absolutely fantastic. Worst case scenario then is that we take a point, and who knows, we could even shithouse a 1-0 win. Anything is possible. It'll also be interesting to see, if it stays very tight like this, will Moyes bring in some of the big guns to maybe go for it a little bit. St. Bonds is one of my enemies. Oh dear. Where were you, Stratford? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, I would imagine Moyes would have an inclination to kind of go for it, towards the end of the game if we're still kind of 0-0, or if it's only 1-0 down even. Or do you think he should just literally leave the guys on the bench no matter what and just completely concentrate on Thursday and not risk any potential injuries? Oh, St. John's. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've got stories about lunchtime dust-ups, mate. Yeah. We got banned from leaving the school at lunchtime. There were a couple of really bad fights. But yeah, okay, I've got Chelsea out now and West Ham are already out, so second half will start very shortly. Yeah, can you guys actually fill me in what's going on elsewhere? I know Brighton are 2-0 up against Southampton. Not that that has any real bearing on us, but how are Burnley doing? Did they kick off at 2 as well? Okay, what else have we got? Okay, we're just about to kick off here. Like I said, some of you might be ahead of me by a couple of minutes because No TV is behind a little bit. Also, just while I'm here, boost bars are criminally underrated. Criminally underrated. I hadn't had one for years, and I've recently gotten back into these, and now I'm a little bit obsessed again. Okay, we're underway. So I don't see any changes from either side. Didn't expect any from us. I just wondered if Lukaku would be thrown in. But at the moment, it's as you were. Yeah, let's keep this ball going down the flanks, I think, because... Oh, well done, Benrahma. A skinned Shalaba. Come on, Arthur. Arthur's been doing okay, actually. He had one kind of little howler early on, out in his fullback position, where he defended very weakly, and it created a chance for Chelsea that could have cost us, but thankfully we got away with that one. But other than that, he seems to have been relatively solid. Obviously, it helps him when he's got 3 centre-backs there as well. He can get bailed out sometimes if he does make an error. But so far, Arthur's doing okay. Just hopefully he doesn't make any more howlers defensively. Nothing much to report at the moment. Oh, that's sloppy from Chelsea. Oh, but Noble looking for Yarmolenko, but just underhits the pass. No, Troj, you're definitely not the only one who buys them. Love a boost bar. Baby bells? No. No baby bells. I'm not a cheese person. At the moment in the game, again, we're defending comfort. And it's good to see that we're closing down. You know, we're not just camped in our own half and allowing them to carry the ball into our third. We are pushing forward and pressing high up the pitch, which is good to see. So if they're going to get into our third, let's make them have to play their way there. Players are working hard as always. Very well organised. We just have to be careful of those little balls in between the lines. And that's an overhit pass for a throw-in for us. Yeah, Chelsea are definitely not at it today so far. They're actually very flat. I've been really unimpressed with Chelsea. You have to wonder about Chelsea's motivation in the Premier League at the moment. They probably feel like they're maybe a shoe-in for third place. And maybe the motivation just isn't there in the Premier League. Because they are not a team that are kind of mentally at it today. And yes, this is a giant cup. I don't have a ridiculously tiny head. Masuaku carrying the ball out. Finds Benny. And he finds Sofel on the right. Come on, drive on. We're doing well here. Just need to try and get that ball in the box. Oh, poor pass from Noble. Give it straight away, but we've won it back quickly. There's a lot of bodies in that final third now at Chelsea. It's going to be difficult to get through. And Yarmolenko puts it out for a throw-in for Chelsea. But this is okay. This is okay. As long as we can keep a clean sheet, It's a good result. Oh, horrible touch from Kante, who's just given us our own throw-in. This would be absolutely massive if we could shit out some 1-0 or something here. I mean, that would be a massive result given the 11 we've put out. Would make up for the 2 drop points at Burnley, wouldn't it? Sorry, not at Burnley, at home to Burnley. Masuaku, you're so shy. I just love overplaying the ball, Masuaku, and dancing around with it. No peagads, no cheese. Don't like cheese. Got my tea and my chocolate, so I'm happy. Our players are putting in a shift. Like, whatever happens, even if Chelsea go on and manage to nick it, our players are putting in a shift. I mean, they're really trying to get something from this game. You know, the worry was that the message sent to the players by Moyes, because of the lineup, would be that, you know, we're willing to sacrifice this game. But the players aren't playing like that. They're playing like they want to get something. Is that Petr Cech's wife? Why is she dressed like a gypsy? Chelsea pressing on the edge of our box now at the moment, so we just need to keep our concentration. Ball crossed in, nobody in there, not a soul. And Fabianski's able to just watch it sail out of play for a goal kick. This is all very comfortable, it has to be said. There was not any Chelsea player. It was a decent ball in across the front of the goal from Mason Mount, but there wasn't any Chelsea player within an ass's roar of that cross. Because they don't really have a natural number 9 up there. You know, they don't have anyone whose natural instinct is to just make that run and take a chance, and try and get on the end of something. Okay. Ball coming in again. Masuaku weak as usual, but Big Dolls gets the block. And we clear our lines. Chelsea seem like they're just turning the screw a little bit now. They've upped their tempo. Oh, another block. Yeah, Chelsea are just starting to create a little opportunity or two for themselves here, but our players, as usual, are just throwing themselves in front of everything. So we just have to survive this little period, I feel. Ball's spending a lot of time in our box now. So just need to be stoic. Oh, Noble. Oh, thank God. That challenge from Noble had to be absolutely spot on, or else it was a stonewall penalty, but thankfully it was perfect. Yeah, Chelsea really turning the heat up now. We just really need to get a foot on the ball and just get it out of this back line and relieve the pressure just for a few minutes. Oh, Benny. Oh, Benny could have set Yarmolenko away there, but just under-hit the pass. That needed to go over the top. And he just tried to thread the needle with it between the 2 centre-backs and it got cut out. He puts that over the top. It at least gives Yarmolenko something to try and get on the end of. It's the frustrating thing with Benny. You know, a lot of talent, really good with the ball at his feet, but his final ball tends to be really poor. He's a frustrating player, Benrahma. Yes, poor Charlie is normally here, obviously, doing this watch-along, but his back's given out on him. So he asked me to come in and save the day. Yeah, we're almost 10 minutes now into the second half, and still keeping them out. So hopefully we can settle again now after they've had their little spell, and we can get back on the ball a bit and give them something to think about. Noble's doing well in midfield, I think. How are you guys feeling so far? Have any of you revised your opinions, by the way? Because I know you all gave your score predictions in the build-up show. I'm just wondering how you all feeling now, because it was a really mixed bag of predictions. Some of you were fearing the worst, that we might get a bit of a hammering. Others were going for a cheeky win. So what do you think now? Still, thank you, Hammer Down Under, 0-0 Burnley Wolves. Let's hope Burnley can nick that. Oh, Todd, Charlie's back gave out. That's why he's not here. He was supposed to be here, but he's in quite some pain with his back. So I was asked to step in and do the watch along for the second half. So here I am. So you're stuck with me, I'm afraid. But fear not, I'm sure Charlie will be back again for the next one. And oh, good ball down the right-hand side to Yarmolenko. Just needs to find the right pass. Here we go. Souček. Oh, he didn't hit it. He didn't hit it. But we have possession. We have possession. And the ball in. Cresswell. Oh, just straight to Mendy.
So you have to guess it.
Everyone can hear you, by the way. Hi, Mum.
Who's everyone?
Watching on the live chat. I'm doing the watch along for the second half.
Oh, God. In my mouth, sorry.
Yeah, Charlie should get himself down to a Thai massage place. You know, pay the extra few quid for the happy ending, Charlie. You'll be right as rain. Everyone says hi, Mum. She didn't know I was doing it. Oh, Kante. Oh, took a bit of a deflection, which thankfully Fabianski was able to gather. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, Kante rattled a shot off. It just deflected off. I think it was Johnson's foot, was it? Dawson threw himself in front. Yeah, it was Johnson's foot. And Fabianski, who was down on his knees and could so easily have been beaten by that, but it thankfully went straight to him. So a little bit of fortune there. But there's the effort from Souček. It was a weak effort, really. But we are back in possession in Chelsea's third, so see if we can create something here. We're doing enough to keep Chelsea honest in this game, it has to be said. Oh, offside Yarmolenko. He does have a habit of running offside, Yarmo. It's a couple of times now in this game, but yeah, we're keeping them honest. Get my mum on cam. No, she'd be mortified, Charlie. Oh, sorry, that's Hammer Down Under. Yeah, she'd be mortified. Yeah, Ryan Lamb, I hope you're right, mate. Would be amazing if we were to, let's say we go and nick this 1-0. Would that be the biggest banter result for us in the Premier League era? Can you think of a bigger robbery? Although, to be fair, it would only be on paper a bit of a robbery. To be honest, Chelsea have not been great, and we've done a lot of good things.
You know that place that you get the spuds that my mom likes?
Yeah.
Where'd you get them?
There was a shot there from Shalaba, and a camera save. Okay, we've won possession back. Let's see if we can. Oh, poor ball from Yarmo. This. Oh wait. Oh, go on, Benny. Get on the end of it. Oh, just beaten to it. Just beaten to it. Real opportunity there if he gets there first. Okay. Oh, Brighton, Southampton are 2-2 now. Well, that was 2-0 to Brighton not long ago. So Ward-Prowse has just levelled for Southampton. So that's a really good comeback from them.
if I eat, I'll get sick when I'm driving because I'm trying to
Okay,
stay.
what's my second? Like that's the thing,
Yeah, I thought he was going to get there, Scott, because it was Thiago Silva coming across. And, oh, yeah, Rice is coming off the bench now. 60th minute for Rice to come on, a little bit early. I don't really think I wanted to see Rice come on, possibly at all.
Try it. That's it.
No thanks, Mum. I'm busy with this, so I'm fine, thank you. Burnley 1-0 up, someone's saying. Great news. Yeah, what do you guys think about Rice coming on now? I mean, as regards substitutions, I'm not sure exactly what it will do for us. You know, I think Noble and Souček are doing really well defensively. We're not being overrun down the middle. So I'm not sure there was any particular need for Rice to come in here. You know, if they were, you know, getting past Souček and Noble with ease and we were struggling down the middle, I could understand it, but we seem pretty solid there. So I'm not sure exactly what this will do for us. Yeah, possibly Rice for Souček. That would be fine. Obviously, we have a big game Thursday, and if we can get him off on the hour, fair enough. I can understand it from that point of view. So Chelsea just camped on the edge of our box again, but that's a horribly overhit cross and went straight out of play from Azpilicueta. And here comes Declan Rice. Okay, so Hamster is saying Benrahma coming off. No, it's Noble. Oh, you were suggesting take Benrahma off for Rice? That wouldn't have made much sense, to be honest. We'd have to keep some attacking players on the pitch. But for some reason, Noble's coming off. I don't quite get this. I didn't feel like Noble was doing anything wrong. Yeah, I didn't feel like Noble was doing anything wrong. I'm not sure why he's coming off after an hour. He doesn't look like he's carrying a knock. So that's a strange one. West Ham ball. Tell you what, our players are feeling the confidence a little bit here. I think they're starting to feel like, you know, this is a game they might actually be able to nick. And I think the longer it goes on at 0-0, the more our players will be encouraged and will feel like, you know, if they can get forward, they can get something. They look confident, I have to say. Our players really look confident. And Craig Dawson seeing West Ham ghosts there. There was no player anywhere near that crossfield ball. But our players look like they fancy this. Yeah, I agree, Michael Beeson. I would like to see Vlasic come on for Fornells. You know, Fornells obviously has a very high work rate. And, you know, he'll be running his socks off again on Thursday night. So, you know, let's get Fornells off. I think Cresswell will be okay, actually. This actually hasn't been a tough game for Cresswell, I don't think. He hasn't had to do an awful lot of raiding down the left. Masuaku has carried most of that load. So I think it's been a relatively easy game for Cresswell physically. As for the amount of ground he's had to cover. So, you know, hopefully...
Nobody wants to see that. I don't see the fucking thing.
I apologise for the background noise. Nothing I could do. My mum's cousin is here now for chinwag.
said, what about halfway? What, yeah? You're late.
What subs would you guys like to see, and when? Given given the scoreline and given that we're doing really well, would you just stick with as it is now and just trust them to get a 0-0 out of this, which we would take, I think, or do you think let's start kind of going for it and get some big guns on, maybe get Antonio in there, maybe Lanzini, get him in there, see if we can actually go and nick this one. So, like, I know we've got a huge game on Thursday, but I don't think there's any harm in players coming on for 25, 20 minutes. I don't think that will really adversely affect them. The only thing is that you do give that slight risk of an injury happening. But if you feel like the game is there to be won, maybe a risk worth taking for Moyes just to have a go at these guys, because Chelsea are really flat today. Like they do not look like a great team today, Chelsea, it has to be said. But we absolutely deserve to be level at the moment. So there's a break in play at the moment, in case you're wondering. Chelsea probing on the edge of the box. Silly shot from Chelsea there, and Fornals is coming away with it. Only has Benrahma and Yarmo up there, so he brings it back. Waits for support. Oh, unlucky. Fornals just tried a through ball there and just overcooked it. And Yarmolenko, to be honest, was on his heels a little bit there, trying to keep himself onside. Yeah, Leon. The crowd bring on Bowen and Antonio, give it a go towards the end. That wouldn't surprise me. Shot just came in from Chelsea, but Werner was offside. Silva cannoned the ball onto Werner and out for, I don't know if the ref's given him the offside or the goal kick, but I'm sure Werner was offside there when that shot came in. Yes, he was. So, should be a free kick to us. Yeah, that's a good point, RG. Given this is quite a weakened lineup, this is a very credible performance from this group of players, it has to be said. They're doing a really good job. Defensively, just very, very solid. And we've been able to trouble Chelsea a bit going forward as well. We haven't, unfortunately, really troubled as yet. But the possibility looks there, at least, that if we can get one of these attacks right, that the possibility is there that we could score on these. Oh dear. Ricochet that fell kindly for Chelsea. And I'm not sure what's been given there. Offside. Okay. Another offside, so another free kick for us. And we're coming up on 70 minutes now. So you've got to be very happy with this so far. Yeah, ref's been good today, but to be fair, I don't think there's... Oh, hang on. Yarmolenko, is he onside this time? He's in. Goes for the shot. Gets the rebound. Oh, No, now the flag goes up. Half an hour later. That cracks me up. Because it seemed like he was offside, and then the flag doesn't go up, and 2 shots come in, and then the flag goes up. But the ref has played on, so now Chelsea are up around the edge of our box. And shot coming in, blocked. Another chance of a shot and wide from Werner. Just hasn't worked for Werner at Chelsea, has it? It's I do think Werner's a really good player, and I think if he was at the right club, I think he'd be great for somebody. But for some reason, it's just not happening for him at Chelsea. Just doesn't seem to suit him. But a shot came in from Mount, and it was an excellent block from Dawson. The rebound came to Werner, and from a tight angle, he put it into the side netting. So again, we're defending stoically, and it's a credit to the players that are out there, really, how little Fabianski has been put to the pin of his collar. He's had to do some basic goalkeeping, couple of routine saves, but we haven't needed anything like a man of the match performance from Fabianski today so far. Ball flashed across the area, but misses everybody. Now Masuaku can clear. Or not. Finds Rice instead. And now we clear, but straight to Chelsea. So we just seem to be coming under pressure again now. It's just Chelsea are just having another little spell where they're just kind of camped on the edge of our box, pushing hard for an opener. Yes, you're not wrong. Mum is cooking. That's what you're hearing.
Sorry. I like a sausage, though.
Anyone want a sausage? And header coming in from Marcos Alonso over the bar. Again, Fabianski not being worked. I'll tell you what, next season for this Chelsea team might not be pretty. There's probably a number of players that maybe want out of that club in the circumstances, and they're probably not going to be spending any money. Probably will lose some players. How Tuchel feels about the whole situation, we don't know. So, things aren't looking too rosy at Chelsea at the minute. So they might struggle for top 4 next season. Oh, that smells good. Right. Oh, 73rd minute. Still 0-0. We're still. Fornells doesn't look happy. He's limping a wee bit. He got an impact injury from something there. Okay, Craig Dawson, block on Mount's shot, out for Chelsea corner. Still just the one sub made by Mize. Rice for Noble. Strange substitution, which I don't get, but. Okay. Corner about to come in. Comes in from Mount. Poorly hit. Oh, did I miss? Another effort from Chelsea, but a routine save. Sorry, I actually missed Bowen coming on. We'll just blame my mum for that. Mum's fault. It's distracting me with the smell of that food. So yeah, Bowen is on. Who went off? Yeah, definitely Charlie. She's definitely putting in a decent shift now, in fairness. Bowen on for Yarmo. Thank you. Thanks, Nick. And again, really, Oh, Fornells is down, and he looks in pain. Oh, this could be bad. This looks like, I don't know if this is going to be an injury or what, but he does not look happy. This is not what we need. He's still on the pitch. He's trying to run it off, but we'll have to wait and see. But Chelsea are in. Oh, good defending again. I think that was Johnson. All right, Fornells looks okay. He's run. Oh, that's Ben Rama. Fornells is limping badly. I've got Kante going to get a shot off. Blocked again. This time by Cresswell. So, okay, triple substitution. Ziyech, Lukaku, and Pulisic all coming on. So clearly, Thomas Tuchel not happy with what he's seen out there. So Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming off. Thank you. My daughter just brought me a little treat. Mom, one of the boys here reckons we're going to win 1-0. Tommy's man on the break.
You're going to win what?
Said you're going to score on the break.
It is fucking dreams, yeah.
Right, good one. You get nice odds in the bookies for my mum to score on the break. She's got fuck all pace. Right. Yeah, just watching Fornells closely here. Yeah, he seems to be moving okay at the moment. Yeah, he seems to be moving okay, but he's sprinting. That's good. But we'll wait and see. Moyes has a nasty habit of letting players finish out games with injuries. He did it with Zuma. He went down and was clearly not right and played at the end of the game, maybe made it worse. Same thing with Diop. He got injured during the game, stayed on until the end of the game, played through the pain, maybe made it worse. So if Fornells is feeling any kind of thing here, I will get him out of there. Chelsea pressing again, shot coming in. Again, another kind of wild shot from Mount, not troubling Fabianski. Yeah, she's definitely still faster than Fornells. All right, Lanzini coming on. There's Ben Rama coming off. That's our third sub. So can only assume that means Fornells isn't injured at all. But it's still, I don't know, I still feel like that's a 90 minutes he didn't need. Oh, here we go, Bowen. Oh, not much space out there, but a good ball out to Sofel. Plays it into the box. Looking for Lanzini, but just cut out. Masuaku. Oh, Bowen just with a missed touch. Real chance to get a shot away there, but Royce has come in and nicked it from Kante. Under pressure still from Kante. He's a terrier, isn't he? Oh, sorry, excuse me, that was Lukaku. Looks like that's going to run out for a goal kick for Chelsea. All right, but at least if we can keep the ball down their end of the field as much as possible, that'll be a positive for us. Yes, hammer down under our third sub.
Yeah,
Fornells looks okay. You probably have some bruising though, it'll be sore. Okay, coming up on 80 minutes here, so we're getting into that period of the game now where a Chelsea goal would actually be a sickener. because we're getting so close now to a really creditable draw. Mom, will you tell them close the door? Still 1-0 Burnley, excellent. Okay, it's €2 for giant buttons, and that is a big bag. There are a lot of giant buttons in there. Okay, Chelsea coming forward again. Just probing in around the edge of our box, but Rice sees it out for a goal kick. Excellent play. Chelsea all day really have not had any ideas. They've had no ideas whatsoever on how to break us down. It's all in front of us. We've been able to defend whatever we needed to defend. They've done really nothing special at all, Chelsea here. Really no invention from them, and no player really out there for them has done anything kind of special. No moment of magic or anything like that. So that's climbing, surely. Referee. Right, free kick. Souček gets banged in the head a lot. That's the second time just today. He's gotten a knock to the head, and Alonso, rightly so, gets a yellow card. Bowen needs to run at Alonso every chance he gets now.
No.
Yeah, just having a look at the replay here. Yeah, just leading with the forearm, Marcus Alonso. Nothing malicious, but it was just, he did leave it out there. It was unnecessary. Just a little petulant, you might say. So Lanzini's over this. Sending the diagonal ball way out to the wing to... Oh, Dawson's fouled Mount, according to the ref at least. We'll wait and see what the replay says. That's a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the conversion rate is euro to pound. It's probably in the £1.50 range. So, and it's a big bag. It's not your normal size bag. Like that is a big old bag of giant buttons, and they're the orange ones too. I love orange chocolate. My daughter knows me well. My mum doesn't look like Mrs. Brown, but she does swear like her. My mum curses like a sailor. It's hilarious. Bigger bust, Lukaku or Werner? I would say Lukaku for the simple reason they paid. Now I know Werner wasn't cheap. I don't remember exactly what they paid for him, but I'm pretty sure they paid a lot more for Lukaku. They didn't get much change out of 100 million for Lukaku, did they? You know, that's an awful lot of money for a player to come in and not score goals. I was actually surprised when they signed Lukaku in the first place. To be honest with you, I never thought of him really as a kind of Chelsea type player, and I don't care how many goals he scored for Inter. I just don't. Like a lot of players can go to Italy and score a lot of goals. Doesn't mean they're going to come and score them in the Premier League. It's a whole different ball game. So that Lukaku signing always baffled me. Oh my God, Dawson, what was that? Oh, what did you do? Looked like he dragged him back by the arm on initial viewing, but we'll see. Let's have a look at this replay. Oh, there's not much in that. That's, you know what? That is not too dissimilar. Oh, that's Lukaku felt the hand on the arm and just threw himself down. You're going to get a penalty for that every time. Every time. Ref's always going to give that as soon as he sees any kind of tug on the arm. Obviously, it didn't bring Lukaku down. It's kind, you know, it's kind of like the Cresswell sending off against Leon. You know, as soon as he felt the little tug, he dropped. I think they're checking. What are they checking on VAR here? A red card? Okay, he's going to the monitor. Now, because I'm doing the live watch along here, I've got the volume off. So I assume, is he checking for a red? It looked like there was it Johnson was around on the cover? It looked like there was a covering. No, Cresswell, I think it was coming around on the cover, and Fabianski was right there. Oh, I suspect this might get upgraded to red. You never know with refs, but it's going to be red because what's he given? Oh, he's rescinded the yellow and given him a straight red. Now we actually, for our next few Premier League games, we do not have a single available centre-back. Not one. Not one. We have no centre-backs left. Obviously, we're okay in Europa League. Dawson can play. But Premier League, in our next game, we have no centre-backs. And that's 3 games, right? Straight red? If Elise doesn't get a game now, he's never in his life getting one. He may as well ask to be sold in the summer. Oh, that is a horrific penalty from Jorginho. Horrific. That is awful. Fabianski could have thrown his hat on it. Sorry, I'm showing my age. The older watchers will know what I mean. But yeah, Fabianski could have thrown his hat on that. That is a terrible penalty. Awful. Okay, that's huge. We don't have any subs left. So let's see what Moyes is going to do for these last few minutes. So we're in the 88th minute on my viewing. So it'll be interesting to see how we line up here now. Is Rice going to drop in? I assume Rice will drop in. And just try and see this thing out. Although effectively now we're going to have a keeper and 9 defenders, aren't we? For what's left, we're just going to hang on grimly now, try and get this 0-0. Any Chelsea goal now, like I said, would be an absolute sickener. But that's a wild shot from Ziyech, nowhere near the goal. So hopefully that'll kill another minute. Wow, Jorginho, though. That's one of the worst. For any of you that aren't actually able to see the game, that's one of the watch match of the day. That's one of the worst penalties you'll ever see. Awful. Wow. I'm trying to think about if I've seen a worse penalty this season. All right, Bowen's done well there. Want to throw in for us deep in Chelsea territory, lads. I'm gonna piss my pants if we nick this in injury time. That would be amazing. Come on, Bowen. Try and get a corner or something. Was that out of play? Thought that maybe went out of play. Right, we're doing pretty well here. We're not under the cosh at the moment, thank God. Cross coming in. Oh no. Oh God. Pulisic just put Chelsea 1-0 up. In the 90th minute. That's a sickener. That is an absolute sickener. We deserved a point out of this game. Absolute sickener. Chelsea have been absolute shite today. They don't deserve 3 points from this. And there's virtually no time for us to get back in it. 4 minutes injury time on the board. I want to see that ball at the other end when Bowen had the ball. I thought that ball went out. It looked out of play to me. Looked like it was a goal kick. That's so sickening. Yeah, we didn't deserve that. Did anyone else see that? Or am I crazy? Did anyone see that ball at the other end when Bowen had the ball? It looked to me like that ball went out. Did anyone else think that? And Chelsea raiding again. Masuaku's done well there. Just got back in and nicked it. We're going to just have to take a chance now. Oh, Lanzini's lost it now. Lukaku cut out by Masuaku again, who loses it, obviously. Oh, that was really close from Mount. Just over the top of the bar. Fabianski was beaten. Can't believe that. Absolute sickener. Yeah, away from home, we're just, at the moment, unfortunately, we're just really bad away from home. We just can't get any results on the road in the Premier League. I don't know, is that... Have we lost 6 in a row on the road or something, or last 6 in a row on the road? All Chelsea possession at the moment, and doesn't look like there's going to be any way back into this for us. Chelsea just controlling possession at the moment. We're still okay. That's a poor ball, but we don't really have anywhere to go at the moment. Declan Rice doing sterling work here to bring the ball out. That's a West Ham throw-in. He's done brilliantly there, Rice. What a player. What an absolute baller that man is. So I think we need to just take a chance here. Okay, good turn. Lanzini on the ball. Out to Fornells. Come on, West Ham. Cross into the box. Dealt with, but we have a corner. We have a corner. So maybe just one last chance to get something from this game. Somebody's given Marcos Alonso man of the match. Like, where are you getting that from? Jorginho's down now, supposedly with cramp. Oh. Yeah, I believe the rule is even if the foul begins outside the box, if it continues on into the box, the ref can still give a penalty. Okay, we're basically time up on the clock, so it's just at the discretion of the ref now. Just need to hoof the ball. Why are we taking a sharp goal kick here? Like, just boot it downfield, Fabianski, you muppet.
No. No.
Okay, one last chance to cross the ball in, and it comes cleared.
Done.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Game over. Absolute sickener. Absolute sickener. We deserved a point out of that. Just conceding a late goal. Oh, that's annoying. But I'll tell you what, you have to hand it to the players. You know, given the lineup that we started with, and at the time, of course, we were down to 10 men when the goal came. You know, that's a really great effort from the players that were out there. You know, and they did deserve a point out of that, in my opinion. Yeah, cheers, boys. I don't know if Charlie or Geo or someone's going to come back in a minute, but
Hey, Tommy.
yeah. Hi, how we doing?
My back is killing me, and that hasn't helped me much. You know.
No, that was a sickener. It has to be said. We didn't deserve that. And I'd be interested. No one has mentioned it on the TV, I think, and I didn't see VAR have a look at it. But I just had a suspicion that the ball was out of play at the far end when Bowen had the ball on their end line. I felt like the ball went out of play. I don't know if it was a goal kick or a corner to us, but it looked like the ball was out. Linesman and ref didn't see it, and then the ball went up the other end and Chelsea scored. So I'd really like to see that again.
Yeah, I had the same thing looking at it. I was wondering whether or not it went out, and I couldn't tell. Well, I couldn't tell from initial things. I haven't seen replays.
Yeah, of course, we've got bigger problems now because Dawson's suspended for 3 Premier League games, which means we've got actually no centre backs for our next 3 Premier League games.
Yeah, that's. I mean, at least Lisa will have to play, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
well, if all of our eggs weren't in the Europa League basket before, they are now.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, that's another loss, and we've got no centre backs. So it's going to be interesting to see how we line up in our next game.
I mean, yeah. We'll see. But before we end, let everyone know where they can find you on Twitter.
Okay, on Twitter, I'm at Tomster36. So you can find me on there, and I absolutely will follow everyone back. Just you can look at my follow ratio, you'll see I do follow everyone back. So if anyone looking for me there, that's where they'll find me, at Tomster36. And thanks to everybody for joining me for the second half. I hope I made a little sense at least. And sickener in the end, but a really credible performance from the players that were out there, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone make sure to stick around because the review will be happening in just a moment with Geo Gonzo. But subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification button, like the video, all that good stuff. Thank you again, Tommy, and everyone. We'll see you for the next one. Cheers. Bye.